mendorong inovasi, kolaborasi, dan kepemimpinan. Dengan dukungan penelitian mutakhir, teknologi canggih, serta sinergi global, Udinus terus berkembang menjadi universitas unggul yang berdaya saing di tingkat internasional. Kami mengajak Anda, para inovator masa depan, pemimpin visioner, dan pencipta perubahan untuk bergabung dalam perjalanan luar biasa ini. Bersama Udinus, mari kita wujudkan inovasi yang berdampak dan membangun masa depan yang lebih cerah. Udinus berkontribusi untuk Indonesia berprestasi level dunia.
Universitas Dian Nuswantoro terus berkontribusi dalam mencerdaskan bangsa. Kini, PSDKU Udinus Kediri hadir dengan standar pendidikan berkualitas, membuka akses lebih luas bagi generasi muda untuk meraih pendidikan tinggi yang unggul. Tak hanya itu, Udinus juga menghadirkan program pendidikan jarak jauh atau PJJ Sarjana Informatika di Lombok. PJJ Lombok adalah jembatan bagi mimpi-mimpi yang tertunda, membuka peluang bagi mereka yang ingin belajar, berkembang, dan menciptakan perubahan. Kami membangun karakter. Kami tidak hanya mendidik, kami menciptakan pemimpin masa depan. Karena di sini, masa depan itu bukan ditunggu, tapi diciptakan. Mari bergabung bersama kami. Jadilah bagian dari perubahan. Jadilah bagian dari Universitas Dian Nuswantoro.
Ekonomi dan bisnis adalah pilar utama dalam menggerakkan roda kehidupan masyarakat. Menguasai ilmu di bidang ini membuka peluang tak terbatas untuk berkontribusi dalam pembangunan ekonomi, menciptakan lapangan kerja, dan berinovasi dalam berbagai sektor industri. Di Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Dian Nuswantoro mempersiapkan Anda untuk menjadi pemimpin yang siap menghadapi tantangan di masa depan. Fakultas kami memiliki program studi dengan akreditasi unggul peringkat tertinggi.
Before we begin, let me reminder to all presenter of Icbeat 2026, please ensure that your name Zoom display name follow the format below when joining the meeting. Display name format example, room 1 _ your name. Please your assigned room number and full name exactly as listed in the book program. Thank you for your cooperation. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning to everyone. Distinguished keynote speakers, Honorable Rector of Universitas Dian Nuswantoro, respected Dean of the Faculty of Economic and Business, Conference Chair, esteemed moderator, distinguished presenters, participants, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great pleasure to welcome all of you to the second International Conference on Business, Economics, Accounting, and Technology, Icbeat 2026, proudly hosted by Universitas Dian Nuswantoro in collaboration with our co-hosts, institution Universitas Patimura and Universitas Mahasaraswati. On behalf of the organizing committee, we sincerely thank you for joining us today. We hope this conference become valuable platform for exchanges idea, strengthening international collaboration, and encouraging innovative research. My name is Nil Asti, and it is my privilege to be your Master of Ceremony throughout today's conference. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our great honor to welcome a distinguished lineup of keynote speakers from leading universities across the world, who will share the expertise and insight throughout today's conference. Joining us today are Professor Vincent Didik with Arianto MBA PhD from Universitas Dian Nuswantoro, Prof. Harun from James Cook University, Australia, Dr. Veranita from the University of Nottingham, Ningbo, China, Dr. Bobur Sobirov from the Samarkand branch of Tashkent State University of Economics, Uzbekistan, Professor Antonio Minguivera from University of Murcia, Spain. We are truly honored to have such distinguished scholars with us today, and we sincerely appreciate their willingness to share their knowledge and experience with all participants. We hope today's keynote session will inspire meaningful discussion, encourage academic collaboration, and contribute to the advancement of research and innovation. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce our co-host institution for today's conference, Universitas Patimura and Universitas Mahasaraswati. Before we begin, we would like to express our sincere appreciation to our valued sponsors, Yamaha Indonesia, Bank Jateng, and PT Pertamina Drilling Service Indonesia, whose generous support has made today's conference possible. We also encourage all participants to stay connected with our sponsor by following their official social media accounts on the screen. Yamaha on IG at Yamaha Indonesia, Bank Jateng at Bank Jateng, and PT Pertamina Drilling on IG at pertaminadrilling.pdac, on LinkedIn PT Pertamina Drilling Service Indonesia, on YouTube Pertamina Drilling, and on TikTok at Pertamina Drilling PDAC. Thank you for supporting the organization that support this conference. Without further ado, let us begin today's program. Before we begin, please allow me to share several important guidelines. Kindly keep your microphone mute unless invited to speak. Please your full name as institution as your Zoom display name, like room_your name. We kindly ask everyone to maintain professionalism and mutual respect throughout the conference. Thank you for your cooperation. Our next agenda is the Singing Indonesia Raya, followed by Universitas Dian Nuswantoro hymn. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand if possible as we sing the national anthem of Indonesia, Indonesia Raya. Thank you. Please remain standing for the Universitas Dian Nuswantoro hymn.
Panji
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now our great honor to invite the Rector of Universitas Dian Nuswantoro, Professor Dr. Pulung Nurtantio Andono STMcom, to deliver his welcoming remarks through a recorded video.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Distinguished keynote speaker, respected professor, researcher, practitioner, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen. Very good morning. It is my great pleasure and honor to welcome all of you to the International Conference on Artificial Intelligence, Digital Transformation, and Sustainable Innovation, Reshaping Business, Economic, Accounting, and Technology in the Global Economy, hosted by Faculty of Economic and Business, Universitas Dian Nuswantoro. On behalf of Universitas Dian Nuswantoro, I would like to express my appreciation to all keynote speakers, presenter, reviewer, organizing committee member, and participants from various countries who have joined us today. Your presence reflects our shared commitment to advancing knowledge and fostering meaningful international collaboration. Today, we are living in the era where artificial intelligence is no longer merely an emerging technology. It has become a transformative force that is reshaping industries, redefining business model, influencing economic system, enhancing financial service, and changing the way organizations create value. Alongside digital transformation and sustainable innovation, AI offered tremendous opportunity to address complex global challenges while creating more resilient and inclusive future. However, technological advancement alone is not enough. As academic, researcher, and practitioner, we also carry the responsibility to ensure that innovation is ethical, sustainable, and beneficial for society. We must encourage interdisciplinary collaboration, promote responsible AI, and develop solutions that contribute not only to the economic growth, but also to social well-being and environmental sustainability. This conference serves as an important platform for exchanging ideas, presenting high-quality research, and building international research partnership. I sincerely hope that the discussion throughout this conference will inspire new perspectives, generate impactful collaboration, and lead to the innovative research that contributes to the advancement of science and betterment of society. I will also like to congratulate to the Faculty of Economic and Business for organizing this international conference. This event demonstrates the faculty's strong commitment to promoting research excellence and strengthening global academic engagement. To all participants, I encourage you to actively engage in discussion, enhance experience, and establish new collaboration that extend beyond this conference. May the connection you build today become the foundation for future research, innovation, and international partnership. Finally, I wish you all productive, insightful, and successful conference. May this event provide valuable knowledge, meaningful network opportunity, and lasting academic contribution. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Have a wonderful conference.
Thank you very much, Professor Pulung, for your inspiring welcoming remarks. Next, may I invite the chairperson of Icbeat 2026, Dr. Maria Savitri, SAMM CFP, to present the conference report. The floor is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning and a very warm welcome to everyone joining us virtually from across the globe today. It is my utmost honor and privilege to welcome the leadership of Universitas Dian Nuswantoro and the Faculty of Economics and Business, the Honorable Rector of Universitas Dian Nuswantoro, Professor Dr. Pulung Nurtantio Andono STMcom, the Honorable Dean of Faculty of Economic and Business, Professor Dr. Amron SAMM, the Honorable Vice Dean of the Faculty of Economic and Business, Dr. Retno Indah Hernawati SAMSI, respected heads of Study Programs, esteemed faculty members, lecturers of FAB, distinguished keynote speakers, co-hosts, sponsors, participants, and dear colleagues. My name is Dr. Maria Safitri, SAMMCFP, and it is my profound privilege to stand before you today as the chair of the organizing committee for the International Conference on Business, Economics, and Technology Icbeat 2026. Today, on this momentous day of July 23rd, 2026, we are virtually gathered for the opening of the Icbeat Conference 2026. As the committee chair, I am incredibly proud to present the progress reports for this year's conference. This year, we have accepted a total of 124 high-quality research papers, representing the brilliant minds of numerous authors and researchers. Furthermore, we are truly proud to host scholars representing 9 countries, making Icbeat 2026 a truly global platform for academic synergy. An event of this magnitude could never have been realized without the collective support of visionary leaders and dedicated partners. First and foremost, I would like to express my deepest appreciation and gratitude to the Rector of Udinus, Dean of FAB Udinus, and all of the study programs and lectures of Udinus. Thank you for your unwavering materials and immaterial support. Your guidance and belief in this conference have been the bedrock of success today. We are also profoundly honored to welcome our esteemed keynote speakers who bring a wealth of knowledge and global perspective to our conference. Professor Harun from James Cook University, Australia, Professor Antonio Miguel Ferra from the University of Murcia, Spain, Dr. Feranita from the University of Nottingham, Ningbo, China, Dr. Bobur Sobiro from the Samarkand branch of Tashkent State University of Economic Uzbekistan, and Professor Vincent Didik with Arianto from our very own Universitas Dian Nuswantoro, Indonesia. Thank you, Professor and Doctors, for sharing your invaluable insights with us today. Our sincere gratitude also goes out to our incredible co-hosts, Universitas Patimura and Universitas Mahasaraswati. Thank you for your remarkable willingness to collaborate and for sending your participants to enrich the discussion at Icbeat 2026. We also stretch our hands in gratitude to our generous sponsors, Bank Jateng, Yamaha, and Pertamina Drilling. Your support has been instrumental in ensuring the smooth execution of this international event. Last but certainly not least, I want to say a massive heartfelt thank you to the Icbeat 2026 organizing committee team. You have worked tirelessly behind the scenes with exceptional dedication, professionalism, and synergy to make this conference a reality. This success belongs to all of you. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as we embark on today's parallel session and keynote presentation, it is my sincere hope that the Icbeat Conference 2026 will serve as fertile ground for sparking innovative ideas, fostering new international collaborations, and providing impactful solutions to the contemporary challenge in business, economics, and technology. May this day be filled with inspiring dialogues and fruitful networking. With that, I officially welcome you all to the International Conference on Business, Economics, and Technology Icbeat 2026. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Dr. Maria Safitri, for the informative report. Ladies and gentlemen, before we continue to the keynote presentation, allow me to also introduce our co-host institution for today's conference, Universitas Patimura and Universitas Mahasaraswati. And also, we would like to once again express our appreciation to our sponsors, Yamaha Indonesia, Bank Jateng, and PT Pertamina Drilling Service Indonesia. We warmly invite everyone to follow their official social media accounts on the screen and stay updated with their latest programs and initiatives. Your support is greatly appreciated. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now entering the main session. It is my pleasure to introduce today's moderator, Mr. Haunan Damar, SHT MBA. Mr. Haunan Damar currently serves as a lecturer at the Faculty of Economic and Business, Universitas Dian Nuswantoro. He holds a Master of Business Administration from Universitas Gadjah Mada, an AACSB accredited program, and a bachelor degree in Applied Science from Politeknik Negeri Semarang. He brings extensive experience as a moderator for international conferences and seminars, including the International Conference on Business, Economics, Accounting and Technology (Icbeat 2025), and the International Seminar on Application for Technology of Information and Communication (iSemantic) in 2022 and 2023. He will moderate today's keynote presentation and facilitate the discussion session. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Haunan Damar, SHT MBA. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, MC Mbak Niluh. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Icbeat 2026, the second international conference of our Faculty of Economics and Business. Before we begin, I would like to say hello to Dr. Maria. Thank you, Dr. Maria, for the chair of this event. And also we have the Dean of Faculty of Economics and Business. Good morning, Professor Amron. Yeah. And also we have our invited speakers, Professor Vincent. Good morning, Professor Vincent. And then we also have Dr. Harun, Professor Harun.
Yeah, host. Thank you.
Hello, Professor.
Halo, Profesor Harun. How are you?
Very good. Selamat pagi.
Thank you very much for your sharing today. I appreciate you, Professor.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Good morning, Pak Darmar.
And Professor Vincent also is in the room with us. Professor Amron, perhaps you have a few words to say before we begin our presentation, Professor.
No, I just say hello to my friend, Prof. Harun. I miss you so much. And it is the second event that I invite Prof. Harun. And thank you very much. You allow my invitation. Thank you, thank you. And also, Prof. Vincent, thank you very much. He is my colleague. Thank you for your time and your sharing today.
Okay, thank you, Professor Amron, for the warm welcome. And now we would like to invite Professor Vincent first. So we have a set of speakers, and Professor Harun will speak second according to our rundown. So let's invite Professor. Let's invite Professor Vincent. Oh, and we have also Professor Bobur Sobirov already. Yeah, thank you. Good morning, Professor Vincent.
Good morning. Yes.
Yeah. So I hope you're ready for today, because everyone, all the participants are very high-spirited today and are motivated to join this international seminar, Professor.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Before Haunan, yes.
Okay. Professor, before we begin, let me give everybody, let me share about your CV first. So,
Okay.
CV of Professor Vincent Didi with Arianto. He is a Professor of Digital Marketing at the Doctorate Program in Management, Universitas Dian Nuswantoro Semarang. And he is an active lecturer, researcher, as well as international journal reviewers. He went to Universitas 11 Maret Surakarta for undergraduate in management. He also went to MBA in Management Science in Technological University of the Philippines. He attained his PhD in Commerce, major in Digital Marketing, University of Santo Tomas, Manila, Philippines. And lastly, he went to the postdoctorate in International Marketing Market University at Wisconsin, USA, under the scholarship of Fulbright. So he has an extensive experience, I think, with this is the most recent one, the most outstanding lecturer and then visiting professor at ACU, as Australian Catholic University, and research fellow at Institute of Social Studies, and also at the University of Newcastle upon Tyne, UK. And then he also reviewed many journals, many international journals such as Springer Nature, Emerald Insight, Elsevier, and PLOS One USA, and Inner Science. So I think that what the material of Professor Vincent that will give us is very, very beneficial for us to hear today. Yeah, Professor Vincent, would you like to start?
Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to convey my appreciation and respect to our rector and also our dean, Professor Amron, our vice dean, Dr. Retno, our chairperson, Dr. Maria Savitri, and also Pak Haunan, and all my Dilusian colleagues, also the committee of the conference. Yes, you 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 have done a very good seminar, yeah, international seminar. Also, I would like also to appreciate in my respect to our co-host, sponsor, yes, and I would like to also to praise to the Lord. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salve, Shalom, Om Swastiastu, and Namo Buddhaya. Good morning. And today I would like to present my paper that this paper, my paper is now is ongoing under the sponsorship of BRIN. BRIN is our National Board of Research and Innovation. Yeah. And this is also related to the topic or the theme of the conference that promoting sustainability and green business practices. And my research is about the batik industry that nowadays is still what we call it in trouble. Sometimes haphazardly they dump the waste to the river stream and yeah, engendering the biota and then also poisoning the community well, also engendering the fish pond and also shrimp pond, and it is actually demising all the biota in river stream along the river stream in Pekalongan, especially because our government declared that Pekalongan is the capital of batik, world capital of the batik. Yeah. Since the UNESCO acknowledged the batik is our what we call it uh, national, yeah, and national heritage from our ancestors, yeah, to and we oblige also to preserve the uh, inherit the heirs of the from our ancestor, yeah, Bate. Because Bate also has a philosophy that portraying our values, yes, on not only Japanese but also an Indonesian, because Batik now is also in Manado, in Papua, in Sumatra, so in Bali, and so etc. Yeah, yes. But the digital transformation, uh, leveraging artificial intelligence to optimize material usage and supply chain efficiency. Yeah. And my finding, since this is AI as AI as new, yeah, new approach, especially to the SMEs, yeah, small and medium enterprises. So actually, it is used only for generating promotion, or sometimes also to have information about the um, consumer or a global consumer, because if they are going to go abroad to export the products, and we have to comply, yeah, all the regulation from foreign countries, so we have to comply. So uh, we we are also as a university to assist them, giving technical assistance to what we call it, to yeah, to assist them to have good green business practices. Yeah, for instance, introducing them not only to use synthetic dyes, but also to use natural dye, yeah, natural dye from trees, uh, from uh, leaves, yeah. Okay, and this is a you know this picture. I was I was recording this picture from one of the river in Pekalongan. Yeah, and this is very terrible. Yeah, so you can see the dam haphazardly. Yeah, they dump the waste. Yeah, although now the municipal city of Pekalongan also tries to avoid the haphazard dump uh, of the smash, the batik smash. Um, they try to the government tries to build the common wastewater treatment. Yeah, but unfortunately, they still dump at the river stream along the Pekalongan River. Yeah, yeah. So we can imagine that uh, in single day they dump around 5 million liters of toxic wastewater every single day. Yes, no treatment, and only a small smash that has some of them actually have some awareness, yeah, to treat uh, the wastewater individually at the company, but this is not so many. Yeah, and we are concerned about that. Yeah. Since um, the contamination of the wastewater also poses risk to the local community, of course. Yeah, especially the health. Yeah, because it penetrates to the community wells everywhere along the not only near the in the edge of on the bank of the river bank, but also it penetrates also to many areas of because of the the batik the batik industry in Pekalongan is not concentrated in a certain area, but also there's widespreading in municipal of Pekalongan as well as its vicinity of Pekalongan. Okay, and the the groundwater quality is endangering now, and also biodiversity, the start of synthetic dyes and chemical disrupt local, of course, aquatic ecosystem and flora. And then at the end of the day, the farmers and the fishermen also they are of course affected of the uh, waste, yeah, of the waste that is dumped by the uh, culprits. I call culprit, yeah, uh, environment culprit. Okay, and who is the smash and sustainability in Pekalongan? Yeah, we noticed that they have a limited access to technology, of course, yeah, and the use of AI, as I mentioned earlier, that they are- they use AI to yeah to promote the products and in a simple way, yeah. And we are now going to assist them um, to familiarize them, yeah, to have, for instance, uh, IoT, yeah, Internet of Things, and also machine learning, yeah, to them, yeah, to detect the wastewater treatment, yeah, because we suggest also to have to use the IPAL, yeah, IPAL is wastewater treatment like a pond, yeah, that is facilitated by the local municipal government of Pekalongan, and now the World Bank also tries to assist them. Not World Bank, sorry, a bank from the Netherlands, yeah. I forgot the name of the bank, and also I don't know they try to give support to build the uh, wastewater community wastewater treatment, yeah, alongside uh, the river, of course, yeah. And also we notice also the lack of skilled labor and skilled labor in the sense that in the sense that they sometimes they do not awareness for environmental um, consciousness, yeah, and not only in technology but also in awareness, yeah, environmental awareness. Also financial constraint, of course, but now is the local government also give some assistance in funding the small funding, yeah, for them, yeah. Also in operational scaling, yeah. Difficulty balancing traditional craftsmanship because this smash are actually the artisanal job, artisanal work, yeah. And sometimes if they have order from foreign countries, for instance, yeah, they cannot fulfill the orders because the lack of the skill, yeah, the operational skill. And what is our research objective? Yeah, our research objective basically is the intersection of AI. So AI as a mediation for green business practices and ultimately to have a sustainable performance. Yeah. And we assess current landscape, yeah, evaluate the implementation of green business practices. Yes, we shorten as GBP, yeah, and also empirical analysis, test the mediating influence of AI technology that actually is still in fledging, yeah, still in the very start, yeah, very beginning of the uh, mostly the use of AI has not empowered the has not yet been empowered the businesses. And also strategic formulation, develop propose context specific actionable strategy to enhance organizational eco-efficiency. Okay, and theoretical framework, yeah, I, I, I generate from RBV, of course, as a grand theory, resource-based view, yes. And what I'm, what I'm my allocated time, Pak Haunan, for my presentation?
You have 30 minutes, Professor. Don't worry about
30
it.
minutes, okay.
Yes.
So my hypothesis, H1, hypothesis one, a direct impact of governance, whether the green business practices have a positive impact to sustainable business performance. And also my second hypothesis is direct impact of technology, yeah, whether AI can perform assisting the business. And also S3, yeah, my third hypothesis is in strategic integration, yeah. How green business practices positively impact to AI adoption, yeah. Okay. And the research model as my research overview. So this is the independent variable, the green business practices, and mediating variable is AI, yeah, AI adoption. So some AIs, yeah, like chatbot, like they do not use the more advanced AIs, like something like big data analysis and machine learning or IoT. But we are going to introduce that to the smash, yeah. We gather them because they have some, yeah, because there are many, yeah, not many, but several, yeah, several uh, like uh, like a community, yeah, community gathering, something like that. Yeah, we can introduce and give a next, yeah, next. Maybe after October, yeah, we are going to introduce them to give a training in machine learning and the use of big data analysis and IoT, Internet of Things, for detecting the substance, yeah, dangerous substances. And uh, we are now making a tools, yeah, to minimize the wastewater because the smash actors, yeah, dump the wax, yeah, to the river, and we can we are able to make a tool, yeah, make a tool, and now we propose to a patent to our government, yeah, to have a small, not small, yeah, simple tool, yeah, to minimize the uh, waste water, yeah, wastewater, especially because in the wastewater also contain wax, yeah, wax that very dangerous to the river stream, yeah. Okay. And methodology, yeah, this is actually my first stage of the uh, our research, yeah, to detect, yeah, to detect all the problems that encountered the business, especially VRP to the sustainable business practices, of course. Yes, and the sample is yeah, not all of them became my samples. Only 203 valid responses. In we use a purposive approach. Yeah, and the data collection period from November, actually not 2025. Oh yeah, okay, 2025 to February 2026. Yeah, the first stage of our research. Yeah. Okay. Okay, this is a structural model finding. Yeah, AI as partial mediator or mediation. Yeah, the baseline is uh, uh, without AI, the pollution, we predict the pollution is around more or less 12%. Uh, by using enhanced model of AI, yeah, we expect that uh, the pollution will be slightly minimized, yeah, slightly minimized to uh, uh, 16%. Yeah, this is our aim for the second period of our research. Okay, the role of AI. Uh, oh, this is okay. This is the end of my presentation. Yeah, so please raise your question. Yes, um, for for the topic of my presentation. Okay, I would like to um, give you time, Pak Honan.
Okay, thank you, Professor Vincent. Um, yeah, I believe that this is regarding the role of AI as the key pillar for theoretical foundation, key pillar for the impact of governance, impact of technology, and strategic integration, right, sir? Yeah, and we would like to remind everyone that the theme of today is artificial intelligence, digital transformation, and sustainable innovation. And Professor Vincent has already talked to us about two of the themes, actually, Professor. Artificial intelligence and sustainable innovation. Now, this is also the digital transformation. Basically, thank you, Professor, for the talk. And anybody would like to ask to Professor Vincent about his topic? Yeah, I think this is a very unique topic because we take what is it? We take tradition, batik. Actually, batik, what I'm wearing today is batik also, but we want to know its impact on the environment and whether it can be done with technology so that the economic benefits as well as the environment benefits, and also the what is it? Professor also mentioned about the human resource benefit as well with use of digital help. Yeah, I think if you would like to ask Professor Vincent, you can do so. Yeah, by through chat or through speaking through the speaker. Yeah, anybody? So Professor Vincent. Yeah. Okay. We have a question from Miss Ajeng Aquinia. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you,
Yes.
Mr.
Thank you. Good morning,
Hana.
Mbak Ajeng. Yes.
Hey, good morning, Prof. Vincent. It's
Mm.
really interesting to see your performance with the presentations. And actually, I have a question because we're talking about the persevering the cultural integrity of traditional Pekalongan batik techniques. And what do we do to make with the aggressive adoption of modern AI and digital technologies to balance the persevering the cultural integrity of traditional Pekalongan batik techniques? So that's kind of my question. Thank you.
Okay.
Is my voice
Okay.
clear?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes. 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 Okay.
Okay.
Um,
Thank you, Prof. Vincent.
the use of AI is very still very limited, and I said for a while ago, this the use of AI is still only on uh, asking some information from generative AI, not from not from not for other other usage. For instance, for reducing the environmental damage, yeah, or pollution, because when we when we are going to introduce the product to the foreign countries, and we have to comply with the green business practices, of course, like eco label or some white papers in Europe. So, of course, without complying the environmental friendly business practices, uh, of course, we will have difficulties. We will have uh, hindrances in promoting the export. Yeah, because in a different area in Klaten, I have with Professor Johan, I uh, uh, I have assisted. Yeah, I have assisted them to introduce the businesses. But the Batik cluster in Klaten, in Bayat Klaten, is easier easier because they use all the synthetic dyes. They do not use synthetic dyes, yeah, but they use the natural dyes from bark, from the trees, from the leaves, yes, sometimes from the mm, flower of the what we call it, Pak Hunat, the plant in along the along the coastal di bakau itu apa? Bakau. Yes, mangrove. Yeah, mangrove flower from mangrove flower, especially for uh, the color of deep brown and also light brown. Yeah, but the use some smash batik smash in Pekalongan also use nowadays they have awareness also to use natural dyes. Yes, something like Osi batik. Yeah, I have visited Osi batik. Very good. Very good. Um, they are very good for producing the natural dyes. Yeah, and the use of AI usually uh, only in asking, yeah, only asking about what is the philosophy of batik, yeah, because they are they are they are a new generation, yeah. The new generation is different, maybe with the parent business actors, yeah, something like that. I think this is there is a question, yeah, about the from
Yes, sir.
Pak Sardian saya.
Tell Dian Shah.
Good morning, yeah. Good morning. I want to ask how many batik craftsmen in Pekalongan are from the older generation. Yes, of course. Yeah, but now also the the older generation also and they would like to to accustom for the younger generation, yeah, to love and to continue to proceed the parents' businesses. Yeah. Yes. AI does not create a new gap, yeah, between large-scale batik producers and small home craftsmen, yeah. Uh, he asked about what is the government strategy to ensure, yeah, AI that does not create a new gap. Yes, this is the challenge actually, yeah, the challenge. Uh, and my commitment is, and our commitment as a university, actually, we cannot rely on government support. Yes, but also from many stakeholder like universities or NGO. Yeah, we are also obligation, yeah, to promote them to have a good business practices or green business practices. I mean, yeah, because actually, like in Bayat, green business practices because they use natural dyes, yeah, and the price three times higher than when they export it. Or there is a exhibition in Semarang, yes, exhibition in Semarang for batik, for natural dye batik, yeah. When they sell in Semarang, actually only for 100,000 rupiah, yeah. But when we when they sell in Jakarta, yeah, they can sell by uh, two times, yeah, two times or three times even. Yeah. And nowadays they also export in some countries like Italy and US, Japan, yeah. So the the natural dye is safer and will have a higher return, higher profit, yeah, than synthetic dye like the attire that I use. This is a Pekalongan batik, yeah. But this is the batik. My attire is not natural dye. Yeah? This is a synthetic dye. Yeah? So I will give I will give the example that synthetic dye sometimes is not good for our health also. This is there are many research about that, yeah, because actually the chemical substance can penetrate our skin, yeah. Yeah, so Japan, yeah, the government of Japan also sometimes they are very strict, yeah, very strict in testing the chemical substance in the batik industry, yeah. Not only batik, all garment from Indonesia. So they have should comply in the regulation, yeah,
Yes,
imposed by the Japanese, imposed by the Japan government. Okay.
Professor. We have another question, perhaps one more from Emil Dasuri. Miss Emilda, would you like to ask directly to Professor Vincent?
Yeah. Hello, Professor. Good morning. Nice to meet you
Oh,
here.
good morning. Yes.
I'm from UNMAS, Universitas Mahasaraswati of Denpasar. So I have a
Yeah.
question, due to your presentation. How can batik business balance between amongst traditions, profit, and sustainability at the same time? Thank you.
Yeah, interesting question.
Please, please. Sorry. Repeat. Please repeat your question.
Okay, I want to ask how batik business balance amongst tradition, profit, and sustainability at the same time.
Oh yes. Uh, It's a challenging question, actually. Thank you for your uh,
Thank you.
challenging question. Yes, since if we do not comply the green business practices, actually, the government also actually our government, Indonesian government, actually has a regulation on proper, yeah, proper for industry. Proper is to evaluate or to test in uh, the substance that discharged by the businesses. Yes, because of proper from Ministry of Environment in Indonesia. But the limitation of this is only a bill, yeah, not a strict regulation, yeah, not strict regulation. It's still an appeal from the government, yes. So it is not yet a mandatory regulation, yes, to comply to the green businesses. And uh, we have also the we keep Udinus, yeah, Udinus give the especially Faculty of Economics and Business. We have uh, technical assistant in Bayat, yeah, in Bayat, Klaten, different region with the Pekalongan, yeah. Uh, they have a good performance of the uh, Pate. So your question whether the green business performance, green business practices can also able to have a good profit. Yes, of course. If we comply with the green business practices, yeah, in Bayat, they use not chemical dyes, but more on they use mostly the natural dyes, yeah. And in the world, yeah, in the world, uh, there is a association of synthetic, not synthetic, sorry, natural dyes, yeah, natural dyes lover, yeah. When we um, when we promote the natural dye batik in Bayat, nowadays the order from the international orders to buy natural dyes batik in Bayat is very good. But now they cannot they cannot afford to fulfill all the orders. Yeah, because many orders. Yeah, yeah. The weaknesses are how to preserve. Yeah, how to sustain and preserve the color. Yeah, the color. So this is our challenge. Yeah, as a university to find or to discover some substance from natural dyes, that more, yeah, to preserve the color, yeah, the color, because the natural dyes, but they also uh, uh, they have some limitation and yeah, unlike synthetic dyes, because um, our ancestors, yeah, was also they're using natural dyes, not synthetic dyes, yeah, something like that. So
Professor, I'm
we
sorry. One
yes,
more minute, Professor.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I have question. How
Uh,
can the government ensure AI
Perhaps.
benefits small business and traditional craftsmen, not only in large company?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good question. Yes.
Professor, perhaps we will move on to the next speaker. We will save this
Okay.
question for our last. We have a dedicated Q&A session after all the
Okay.
speakers.
Yeah.
Is that okay, Professor?
Okay.
I'm
Thank
really
you
sorry,
very much
Professor.
for your attention, and I appreciate your attention, and thank you again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Vincent Didi with Arianto, from our own institution, Universitas Dian Nuswantoro. Thank you, Professor. We will see you again at the Q&A session, and please enjoy the rest of the conference, Professor. Thank you very much. Now we move on to the next speaker, Professor Harun. Good morning, Professor Harun. I believe
Hey, good morning, everyone. Thank you very much.
Yeah, good morning, Professor. How are you, Professor?
Oh, yeah, it is good. Bagus, sehat-sehat.
Sehat-sehat, Alhamdulillah. And we have met in the first Icbeat, and then thank you, Professor, again for contributing for the second Icbeat.
All right.
Okay. Yes. Professor, before we begin, I would like to read your CV first. So, Professor Harun here is, wait a minute, I will open, yeah. A senior lecturer of business or accounting at Singapore Business School, James Cook University. Is that still your current institution, Professor? Because this is the
Yes,
last time we
I
saw.
will explain during the presentation, but you can continue with the current profile. That's
Oh,
fine.
okay. Also was invited as new PhD graduate academics by the ANU, Australian National University College of Asia and the Pacific at the Australian National University in 2012 before joining the University of Canberra as assistant professor in 2013. So uh, he has a professional experience in lecture and business and accounting as well. And he has experience in convening and teaching accounting subjects in various countries. I think this is a very extensive CV, Professor, and we would like to hear more from you and from today's presentation that you already prepared for us. Thank you very much, Professor. And we will help you with the presentation. So if you want to go to the next slide, you can just ask Professor. Thank you very much. Can the staff help me with the showing Professor Harun's PowerPoint, please? Hmm.
All right. Maybe we can start, right?
Yes, Professor, you may start.
All right. Recently, I just joined, going back to Australia after a few years in Singapore. I am now with Crown Institute of Higher Education, SIHI, Australia, in Perth. All right. I hope Professor Vincent still here, and the idea of AI and business model in the modern world, how struggles the batik in Semarang is very interesting. In many ways, it is related to the whole change of the business and technology in the last many years, even in the last 3 centuries or 4 centuries until today. I am surprised, but this is not very unique. In fact, how the suffering of small batik entrepreneurs in Semarang. Now, if we talk about Semarang, basically Semarang was one of the center of capitalism and global trade in 19th century when the trade and sugar plantation dominate the Asia and global export of spices and other products from Java and Maluku to Europe. It was create the business international business monopolies and scales that was never seen before that era. Before it was changed by the British and Indonesian independence, and now what's going to happen? I think if you look at all of this is quite interesting and challenging. I want to see this problem in the evolution of business and accounting and how we end up in cloud capitalism nowadays, and opportunities and challenge for us. Can you go to this first page? I only have one slide. Right. Now, if we are living now in today, we have everything in our hand, right? Phones, tablet, recorded machine, Microsoft Office, mesin pencari data dan lain sebagainya. All of them are in one hand. So this is very practical in many ways. And this is what we are having right now. But if you look back in the history of the capital or capitalism, capitalism is about how to make money, right? How to make money. But in economics or business, we call it how to increase the asset. Probably we have one house and we want to have more house. We may have $1 and we want to increase to be $3. So
Kan rumah
the idea
sebulan
of
dong. Saya
capitalism is
proses to masuk
actually
langsung nggak iso
how
kan.
to create asset, right? How to make asset, how to add our asset. And to do that, we have to work and we have to produce service or we have to produce product like batiks. Now, batik is a product of hundred of years civilization, right? Jadi sekarang ini, seperti kata Pak Vincent, produk originalitas batik itu menjadi merek global yang sangat disukai. Tapi saya curiga, I suspect, the batik worn by us, including Pak Hanun or Pak Harun or Pak Vincent, made in China, right? Now, why China make it? It is not about whether China is right or wrong or bad or whatever, because China know how to make money and how to integrate into what the best technology to make money, right? And Pak Vincent said, we cannot hope the government. It is true, because the government doesn't support. But in China, the government support the all entrepreneurs to make part of the Google, even to make batik, right? Now in China, people make batik. Small entrepreneurs in China make batik as well. And now, how to defeat the China product? How, right? We have to sell the originality of the batik. The original batik only made in Indonesia or in Java or in Jawa Tengah. That is why many original batiks have very big price. I mean, very high price and very luxury and very high price. And actually, government has to support it. In China, government support it, right? Here, we don't support it. Now, this is the idea. This is quite related to my concern when I hear the presentation of Pa Vincent. Now, I just want to go back to the history of capitalism. In 300 years ago, we make money by planting chocolate, by planting rice, by planting sugar. It is still happen right now, but it is not the most important business right now. The most wealthy people not planting sugar, not planting rice anymore. They sell data. They take your data, right? It seems every day we read Googles or any social media, but actually they also read our minds. They scan and they put in their database the way we click what kind of image do you want, right? If I like the Kardashian image, you know Kardashian, right? or any other actor like Madonna, or so all of this image will come to will fit by the system into the screen of our computers. And this will be used by big techno companies to increase their popularity of the platform. And when they charge the iklan or advertisement, it depends on how many like into the platform. Now, interestingly, actually, we are the workers of Facebooks. We are the workers of DeepSeek or any other platform. And most of us, you don't get paid, right? To get paid in social media or like Facebook, you need to have many thousand of subscriber, many thousand of hours seeing our videos. So This is a very exhausting work if you want to get money from Facebook. Of course, some people get it if they're successful, but it is very, very small. Now, under agrarian capitalism, the most important accounting data was how many assets you have, how many lands you have, how many slaves you have, right? Berapa banyak pohon kelapa, berapa luas padi sawah. Dia tidak concern about how effective. It is about what asset you have and how many. When industrial capitalism came, when the invention of steam ships, factories, and so on, there are competition among the product, right? The efficiency will be very important. It creates modern capitalism because there are competition between producers. But under agrarian capitalism, the control of the land only in few hands. Only the kings or only the most powerful people in the society or in the country. So there is no competition. Itu yang menjelaskan di era itu para raja, para orang-orang kaya itu banyak sekali aset, bahkan banyak sekali istri-istri mereka. Jadi tidak ada kontrol. Tapi di era modern kapitalisme dan sekarang ada kontrol. Tidak boleh semau-maunya kita. How much money you want, it depends on rules and regulation. This is the critical feature of modern capitalism. Now, I just want to continue with the financial capitalism. Other financial capitalism, the richest people in the world, not the owner of car producer anymore, or not the owners of the land, but it is the owner of the banks, right? The owner of the banks, the owner of those who occupy the capital market, and so on and so on. So they are the most powerful and the richest people. But under cloud capitalism, this is very different. The most valued asset is not dollar America, it is not land, it is not rice, it is not sugar. Of course, you can still have dollar America, American dollar, Australian dollar. Of course, you can still have, but the most wealthy people, they don't care about it. They care how many subscribers to the Facebook, how many subscribers to the AI platform, and so on and so on and so on. Now, the more subscriber, the more money they will get, right? So the point is not about the US dollar or American dollar, Australian dollar, or how many banks you can get. It is the second concern. The main concern is how they get the subscribers. Now, why they want to get the subscribers, or you need to enroll in a particular platform? This is not why they want it, because they want our data. Our data not only about our when we were born, what are you doing every day, but also your behavior, what you like, what you click, what you don't want. If you don't want something, the logarithms of the system do not send the image or anything to us anymore. So this is the cloud capitalism. Now, this is quite interesting. The most important information for cloud capitalism, I mean the owner of Facebook, for example, is how many right? How many subscribers? Because it will affect how much money they can generate, right? How much money, how much people can or will use their platform to sell their product. Now, so the main concern of them is not bank account, it is about how many people enroll, how many hours people watch the video in YouTube. But the good thing for them, right? We don't pay us. most of the workers not get paid. This is the business model of current capitalism that is called cloud capitalism. Now, my question, object for us, for example, or Grab, we think they are taxi companies. It is not. They are not taxi company. They just connector between the user and the buyer of the product and connect with the bank accounts. They don't have cars. So who have the cars? The drivers have the cars, right? But most of the money, where it will go, right? Most of the money, most of the profit actually go to the owners of the platforms. Those who has the car is quite less significant compared to a traditional taxi company, right? That's how it works. Now, nothing to do about the corruption case recently in Department of Education about the Google in Malaysia. In Malaysia, the integration of the Google Chrome, it was a big failure before Indonesian happened under Nadim's, right? So under Nadim's becomes a problem as well. I'm not involved in any legal dispute about this, but how international players like Google and so on and so on want to utilize Indonesian people to use their platform to make money. Now, under VOC, they they uh, they pay the farmer in Java, farmer in Maluku, planter of the cloves and the whole spices plantation. We get paid at the time, despite very low, right? But if you are the user of Facebook, you don't get pay. You will get pay. You need to have hundred of thousand hours of watching, and the price is actually very low. Right? This is how the modern capitalism work. It explains why Professor Vincent don't expect the government to support batik, right? Because government doesn't support. In China, they support they support the small entrepreneurs in China, right? But Indonesian government probably they want to support, but they don't know how exactly because this is not a very simple issue, right? You have to be against the Google, you have to be against the Facebook. All of these are very messy situations. So, however, for personal users like academics, like small entrepreneurs, can also look and use the platform. Including today, I can speak with you because we have the platform. And the platform is not very expensive, right? But at the same time, so we have to maximize the use of it. But why government should support? Just Chinese have given the example how Chinese people know better how to make money, right? Now we have to follow the way they do. It's very simple. They understand how Google plays. That's why Google cannot operate whatever they want in China. In Indonesia, Google, whatever they want, they can do. It is very interesting. It explains why Professor Vincent said, no hope from the government. Thank you, everyone. I hope, based on my short conversation, I hope you will have a question and we can discuss more productively. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Professor Harun. Thank you very much for the interesting thoughts on the capitalism, Professor.
What do you think, my friend? you you listen what I said?
No, I'm just remember.
And we have still 7 minutes, around 7 minutes to have question from the audience, perhaps. Dr. Harun, we have question from the chat room.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I am going to see the chat.
Very interesting, especially about the cloud capitalism. Is cloud the solution or just the next stage of capitalist expansion? And do you think that small business can compete in cloud-driven capitalist environment, Professor?
Yes, there are two things that I can provide. For example, as I have said, we can use the AI and other platforms because it can support our everyday task. But in at the government policy level, at the industry policy level, we still need the support from government. Like in China, they get the support from government. Even to take the batik as their product, right? It is now personal level, at the personal business level, we use and we maximize the use of it as we can. And no way we cannot do it. Like an academics, when I write a paper in the past, I need to pay the white people, English people to edit my paper. Now I can do it in 2 seconds by ChatGPT, right? To edit your paper. In the past, I have to spend hundreds of dollars. So this is just how we can use the AI or other products for our own personal purpose. But we also have to mindful regarding the rules and regulation in academics, for example, how to use AI. Now, for ourselves, for small business, I can see the use of AI are also very important and very productive. But what I discussed previously, I want to see how it is framed at the government and at the industrial level. Is the data new capital that controls the future of the global economy? It is true. Now, the only difference is under the capitalism so far, there are competition. There are competition, right? Under cloud capitalism, the competition is very small. The producer are very small. So there is no competition. Only one Facebook, only one word processor, only one Google. There are only very minor number of producers, right? So they can set up the price. So if there is no competition, they can dominate the price. They can dominate the market. And US government is basically struggling to face Google and Facebook, for example, how dominant they are. It is also happening in European Union. I mean, in European countries, how dominant they are. But European Union at the European level, they can negotiate and work together again against Google to pay their tax. We don't know how much tax collected by Indonesian government from Google in Indonesia or from Facebook. We don't know exactly. And many people say most of the money goes to Singapore, right? So this is a very important topic for us as a researcher. Now, we should not blame Singapore or China because they understand how Google plays. They understand. So if you don't understand the playing field, we will mislead. Nanti kena tipu kita kan. Nah, mungkin koperasi desanya Pak Prabowo barangkali ada bagusnya untuk mendukung industri batik pada tingkat yang rendah ya. Tetapi harus dilaksanakan dengan idenya bagus, tapi pelaksanaannya mungkin perlu lebih tepat dan lebih bagus ya. Saya kira dari segi ide itu bagus karena itu yang dilakukan Cina sebenarnya. Cina itu tapi di Cina itu dia riset. They do the research, they find the problems, They seek the solution and implement it. And the good thing in China, no many political parties. If the policy from government is good, it can be implemented very well sampai ke desa-desa. Di Indonesia itu masalahnya kompleks karena tidak ada kontrol pemerintah pusat apa yang terjadi sampai ke yang the lowest level, right? Seperti itu BMG apa namanya? Makan gratis, itu kan idenya bagus. Tapi pelaksanaannya mungkin banyak sekali masalah. Itu aja. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Harun.
I hope there will be more questions.
Yeah.
I just want to go back to the data new capital that controls the world. It is true.
Yeah.
The only difference, as I have said in the past, the owner of the land many, but nowadays the owner of Facebook is only very few.
Yep.
Now we are going into that is called, it is not land capitalism, it is cloud feudalism. Cloud feudalism means whatever the owner, and the owner are very small numbers, we will dictate. It explains why they get a lot of money from us, but we don't get money from Facebook. Right?
Yeah. We don't know the playing field, Professor.
Because we don't know
As
the
you
playing
mentioned.
field. Right.
Yeah. Okay, Professor.
You see the next question. One of the
Yeah,
critical
we have one more
challenges
question.
in cloud capitalism is the enormous energy consumption of the data center, which contradicts sustainable objectives. In the context of AI application for small industry, how can we ensure that then we advance support environmental sustainability instead of undermining it? It is a complicated issue, but as a small players, small companies, academics, universities, we just utilize the opportunity that exists in the playing field. We just maximize what we can get. But it is true that the use of energy is a lot. One question we address to Google or Facebook, sorry, to the ChatGPT, it takes a lot of energy for ChatGPT to produce it, right? It is true. And to be a more developed society or developed economy, we need higher energy consumption. And the energy consumption in Indonesia is still very low. In a way, it also limit the capacity to transform the whole society to utilize AI. It is true that energy production is a big problem against the sustainability of the environment. And they are very important critical issues for research. Thank you. Maybe next question, Pak Hauna.
Yeah, Dr. Harun, unfortunately, we have to move to the next presenter.
Okay.
But we do have a feedback from Mr. Zeldian Shah. Oh, thank you. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Professor Harun, for the interesting take on how cloud capitalism works nowadays. As you mentioned about how people who has the car, but all the profit goes to the application owner and etc. And
Not all, not
yeah,
all,
not all, not all. I'm sorry.
but the level of the profit, most of them go to them.
Yeah, and this is what is it? The new quote
New
unquote
capitalism. It is
capitalism.
called
Yeah,
cloud feudalism. Cloud
feudalism.
feudalism.
Yeah. I think it what is it? It gives us a new perspective on digital transformation, Professor. Thank you very
Yang
much
menarik,
for
sebentar
your.
Mas, 1 menit ya, menarik ya.
Iya, iya.
Terlepas kontroversi, dan itu kan kita harus bersyukur kan kita kan udah negara demokrasi ya, baik di bawah pemerintahan Megawati, Pak Jokowi, kita kan sudah melewati proses demokrasi dengan segala kebaikan dan kekurangannya. Tapi yang cukup menarik, terakhir ini pemerintah pemerintah terakhir ini kalau tidak salah minggu lalu, last week, they want to issue a new policy that the owners of taxi or Gojek vehicles are the entrepreneurs. It is true. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Harun. Yeah. If you don't mind, if we have more questions, we can answer it at the end of the session. We have a Q&A, dedicated Q&A session last. And thank you, Dr. Harun. And we now go to the next speaker, Dr. Veranita. Good morning. Let me say hello to Dr. Veranita first. Good morning, Doctor. Yeah. How are you, Doctor?
I'm fine. Actually, I got sick last weekend, but I'm recovering fine, so I'm okay.
Oh, okay. Hopefully you get well very soon. Doctor, hopefully you can give us your topic today. We have you have sent us the presentation, and would you like us to help you, or would you like to do it from your computer?
I prefer to share my own slide, so I have a
Okay.
control over clicking.
All
Yeah.
right. Thank you very much, Doctor. Before we begin, let me read your CV first. Hopefully, let me open it first. Okay. Dr. Veranita is currently working as associate professor in entrepreneurship and innovation at University of Nottingham, Ningbo, China. And she is also the director of Ingenuity Lab at the University of Nottingham, Ningbo, China, as strategic leadership, building innovative community, facilitating cross-disciplinary engagement, etc. And also, she received her PhD from Lancaster University, her Master of Research in Management Science in ESADE Business School, Barcelona, Spain, and Master of Business Administration in Nanyang Technological University, or NTU. Without further ado, let's welcome Dr. Veranita for sharing her presentation. Doctor, you have 30 minutes, and we can have Q&A if you wish to, or you can have a dedicated Q&A session at the end. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Bahanan, for your introduction, for your kind introduction. So the plan today is I'm going to talk for 15 to 20 minutes because I have other engagement later. So I prefer to do the Q&A of my own session at the end of my session today. So of course, feel free to ask questions later.
Okay, Doctor, that is great. Thank you very much.
Okay, let me try to share my screen. So let me know, are you guys able to see my screen?
Yes, we can see it, Doctor.
Okay, just my slides, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm constantly having to switch between Teams and Zoom because I'm based in China, and sometimes get complicated getting on the VPN.
Okay.
Okay, so hi, good morning, everyone. It's great to be back to Unidus again, this time online. So I've been to Unidus before 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
It was a great experience there in the university. I think in English we say compact, not small, compact but beautiful. Yes, everything did. Yeah, and I had received very kind reception from Unido's staff and faculty members, so that was very kind of you. And thanks for inviting me back again to this conference. So today I'm here to share about rethinking entrepreneurship education in the age of AI, lessons from Ingenuity Lab. So when I was designing the speech, I thought a lot about how to bring this keynote speech, as in, do I want to make it very dry, very research oriented, or I share something that is more practical. So in the end, I decided to share something more practical and show you the journey of how we do things at the China side, and then we can combine and get into the research topics.
Okay.
So
Doctor, could you please share the full screen?
the full screen. Okay, hold on. I don't know. Is it now? Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay, because I
Thank you,
use
Doctor.
two screens.
I see.
Yeah. Okay. So today's journey, we're going to talk about why education in entrepreneurship needs to have some change, because you all now know now that we are in the age of AI. We are in a very different world now. So I will show you some insights from the latest AI and entrepreneurship education research. I will share you about the innovation. So what we do here at Ingenuity Lab Ecosystem at the University of Nottingham, China, the impact, so how our students' projects are AI enabled. So we are now going into the AI enabled learning, and how are the educational outcomes coming from the AI world. And then we have some discussion and Q&A at the end of the session. So if anytime, if I get too excited and speak too fast, please slow me down, it's okay. So thank you, Pak Hao Nan, for introducing me. So yes, my main job is actually associate professor in entrepreneurship innovation, and I'm a total director in Ingenuity Lab. So I will explain to you what is Ingenuity Lab later. And basically, in essence, we are here to help students to work on entrepreneurship. So at myself, I'm also a co-founder and senior advisor. I'm entrepreneur myself. So I have a few startups. So one of the startups is co-founder and senior advisor of Asian Legacies. So we basically work on education, related education, on family businesses and successions in the Asian context. And after I've been to China, I started work in China last year, February in 2025, and it's in 1.5 years. So once I came to China, I felt that China is very different. Although we are all Asians and I'm kind of like Chinese descendant, but the context and the culture and the environment is totally very different here. And I thought, what is the best way to teach students entrepreneurship? Of course, is by doing. So I also started my own startup here in China. So it started this year, early this year, February. The idea came in January. It's a EPSD Tennis Academy. So it's Elite Path Sports Development. So it's an academy. So we provide tennis trainings. So we are only the teaching side here, and we collaborate with a tennis court here. So we don't own tennis courts. We are kind of like a service provider. We provide the coach and we do marketing and operations. So we started company registration in February. So in China, the good thing is we can have a wholly owned foreign company here. So I do not have any we do not have to have any Chinese partner to set up business here. You can have a wholly owned foreign entity here. We started as a wholly owned foreign entity in February, and then after first trial of the collaboration, it didn't work out very well because of the many reasons. I can talk to you in Q&A if you have questions later. But now since July, we transformed into a joint venture with a Chinese partner. So my takeaway is wholly owned company is good for your own control. You have a lot of control and where you want to go, but you may be lacking in terms of integration with the local community or the local partner. So joint venture could be eventually a solution for a long-term collaborations. So I will not talk more about my education background, as Pak Hao Nan has already introduced me. So I just share a bit of my selected publications. So I publish in journal publications, some case studies, teaching case studies, and the books and book chapters. So here we are very strict in terms of publication, only Scopus Q1 and ABS ranked journals. So Q2 and below, they say forget about it. Yeah. And I like to teach, I like to publish teaching case studies because I like to teach my own cases. So in my classes, I feel more connected because it's my own story. And also for my students, they feel that, oh, she wrote the case by herself and she's the insider with the insights about that topic. And so now we go into the topic about rethinking entrepreneurship education in the age of AI. So as I mentioned before, I will introduce you about Ingenuity Lab. So Ingenuity Lab in essence, if you want to put it bluntly, an entrepreneurship center. But don't ask me why they call it Ingenuity. I also feel that it's very weird to use the word Ingenuity. I would think that if you use the word entrepreneurship center, startup center, startup eco lab would be a more straightforward. But as we are in British style, British university, they like to use some words that are very British. So they chose the word Ingenuity Lab. So it's a platform, tri-campus. So Nottingham has 3 campuses: UK campus, China campus, and Malaysia campus. So it's a tri-campus platform. So we combine our academics from UK, China, and Malaysia, and we provide, in essence, we are here to provide entrepreneurship skills to our students here at Nottingham, China, and ultimately enable them to have a startup. And so this is my team. We have a very small team. So we are, although this is a university-wide platform for all the students in the university, but it's housed, based in the business school. So our ultimate boss is my dean, but I'm the director. So I'm the one that lead the daily operations, the strategy directions, and the budget. And I'm supported by 2 officers, Serena and Simon. And so this is how we do at the University of Nottingham, Ningbo, China. So we have a very complete roadmap to help our students from ideation towards getting startup established. So the pink one is Ingenuity Lab. That's my lab. So we are here at a very early stage. So you can see as a pre-incubator. So we are at our side only education. So we are here to equip students with knowledge and the skills. So no commercial transactions, no company registration. So the students are here at our pre-incubator side to work with the idea. Okay, come up with the idea, further polish the ideas, get the ideas ready before they can go into the incubator to register company and actually have the business starting running. And then we also have a POCC, that is a Center for Proof of Concept Center. So that is more advanced. So when it's more like technological related things, to get the concept, to get the technology support, they go to the POCC. And also we have the ANTC, that is the Ningbo Nottingham Technology Corporations. So this company helps to invest in projects that are viable, or to help with IP commercialization, or doing like trademark registrations. So we have a very complete roadmap for our students from ideation until they're ready for the market. And even after the market, they can get a lot of support. So here at the pre-incubator, at my very early stage of the entrepreneurship journey at Ingenuity Lab, so we have 5 programs. So Nexus for Entrepreneurship here is NIE, we call it. It's more really the inspiring students. So we get them to come to like half-day workshop, 3-hour workshop to just get inspired, to get inspirations. We have roundtable talks. We invite maybe entrepreneurs to give them ideas to get inspired, where to start, right? And to get network. Second one, plug-in programs, is the one that is we have stages. So it happens for 4 months, from around March to June, July, 3 to 4 months. So we spend several weekends in different stages to help them to have no idea, to develop the ideas until they are ready and go to a competition and let them to pitch to investors and go on to start their business. And here we have the AI Robotic Co-Creation Center. So it's more working with the robots and AIs. I will show you the activities we do later. And then we have the Family Enterprise National Innovation Exchange. So I'm here as the associate professor in entrepreneurship innovation, but actually my expertise, as if you know me, I'm actually in family business. But the start of family business is entrepreneurship. So, but at the end of the day, I feel that if I come to UNC and only working on entrepreneurship and not working on my expertise of family business, it gets wasted. So now I'm working a lot with the next generation family business successors. So a lot of them are thinking about how they can carry on the family legacy using the family resources and also do a startup. So for example, we have students who are she is a next generation of a family business. The family business produces like instant noodles, cookies, and all that, and she utilized the production to produce a new product of her own brand name. So in essence, that's what we do at Ingenuity Lab. So these are our achievements up to date. So we have activities. We have so far 8 students are incubated, and we also have a very high student satisfaction rate. So just to show you one of the example of our student project. So one of the team that won the first prize in 2025, 26 and 2024, sorry, 2024 was the Chile Antarctica. It's an online game. So it links with the SDG. So it helps, it's a game that raises awareness of the climate change. So to help the market to learn about the impact of climate change and through gamings. And this is how we help our students to go on with the ideas. So we have a lot of showcase events where they can bring their poster, the showcase, and we have also like booth on the here to get them to get feedback from the market, from the real potential users, what they think about their products, and they can continue to modify their product ideas. And also we make sure that students are actually using a lot of their hands, thinking, presentation, conveying their ideas and work on their business plan. And also they had to showcase a lot with drawing and writing, not only on the computers. So now my question back to you is the main question that we have. If ChatGPT can write a business plan in 30 seconds, what should entrepreneurship educators actually teach? So our education in entrepreneurship has been very conventional. We get students to sit here, do the workshop, and then they go through this ideation, problem identification. What are the problems that annoy me in my daily life, and how can these ideas turn into a potential business? And before we change our model, what we notice is that in our workshops, when we ask them to sit in the group and work on this, all they do is go into their phone and ask AI, answer my questions. And this is not going to work, right? And at the end of the day, the idea that they present, Taobao or Shopee, and I go into Taobao and can see all the products that they proposed. And this is actually getting more and more meaningless. And so we have thought about this, and we are now starting this year. We are incorporating AI into the learning journey in terms of getting the entrepreneurial journey. So how the traditional entrepreneurship education, as I said, ideation, work on business plan, pitch, and launch. Now we incorporate AI from the ideation stage. Okay, in using ideation stage, not just dump the idea into AI, but use AI as companion. I'll explain more later. And do some experiments, validate the idea, iterate, and then we launch. So as the research has shown, so one of the latest paper published in 2025, it has shown that entrepreneurship education has been changing. So AI is being used in many stages in terms of entrepreneurship journey, right? So it has immersive learning experience. It gets experiential entrepreneurship learning. It helps to be it as a companion and support in the growth in the and along the journey. And also AI is very useful in using it as a financial viability assessment. We can come up with the idea ourselves, but use AI companion to support us along the journey. So what does current research tell us, right? AI actually, if we know how to use it and stop the students from dumping the question into AI and generating it, AI actually improve efficiency for our students. Students actually can generate idea faster or come up with a more concrete idea. For example, when I want to generate idea, instead of asking the AI, what problems answer this question, what should be my idea for my startup idea? You can tell the AI, ask me 5 questions to help me identify my daily annoyance. And then AI will ask you questions. And then you can go through this process with AI. It's a companion. It's like a having a mentor, a chat buddy with you. And also AI enables personalized learning. So it has very adaptive feedback. You can do simulation and you can use AI to help you with your business modeling. Of course, research on AI is still very exploratory. Most of the studies remain conceptual. There are few real classroom implementations, and this is the point that is actually emphasized by the 2 latest papers that I have reviewed. Look at. So how do we respond here at the Ingenuity Lab at UNC? I will show you. So from theory to practice, right? We actually redesign our entrepreneurship education in the age of AI. So as I mentioned, we have different stages, right? They have to explore and ideate, validate and refine, intensive learning, startup competition, and then incubation. So we incorporate AI in every stage. So first at the idea generation, they already learn to use AI tool to help them to do the idea generation. So as I said, instead of asking the AI to answer your question, you can tell the AI, ask me questions to help me identify better. Ask me questions to help me sort out my thoughts. And then once they have the ideas ready, right, they go to stage 2. They can ask the AI to do simulations of how the product will look like, how the process of the customer journey, simulate it, right? Some like how can I get customer feedback? And then our summer boot camp will be more intense learning. We work with them on further business development, and they can also do pitch training with AI support. So you can ask AI, okay, if I'm going to pitch to AI, what are the potential questions that they're going to ask me and how they answer it? So we use AI in every stage to help them. So student can learn, practice, build, and grow. So we can see here how we use AI I already explained just now. AI can help idea generation, interview simulation, refine the ideas. So you can ask AI to refine the ideas. I don't like this. Can we tweak this? What do you think about that? But the idea is the studentpreneur have to think together with the AI instead of using AI to think. Okay. And some scenario plannings, and then getting some feedback and rehearsals. So I will show you some examples how we did. So our practice 1 this year was conducted in March for 2 weekends. We had 70 plus students from different majors, and they learned to work on real life needs and use AI generated image to show early stage ideas. In the past, when we do prototyping, you are asked to do hand drawing, how the product will look like, the process and everything. But now it's very easy. We ask AI to generate the image to how it looks like. So if I don't like how it looks like, I can tweak the color, I can tweak the tone, I can tweak the shape. Okay, so this time, for example, they work on the app. So they can even use AI to generate how the app will look like, the interface, how it can be used by clients in the restaurants, right? And they are, of course, the elements of the human being are still here to present the ideas. And then you can see how all these they use AI to generate. You see how the interface of the app will look like, how the clients will use. All these slides, the images are AI generated. It's very useful. So, and then we can look at in practice 2. So practice 1 just now was idea generation, right? And practice 2 is further refining the idea. Once you have the idea, you further refine the ideas. So our students here work on, okay, once you have the idea, further understanding the market. Who are your target users? How do they use your products? What problem are you solving in the society? So you see how we combine with human and the technology. These are AI generated, but you see at the back of the classrooms, we still have a lot of post-it notes. We guide them working. We still have a lot of human interaction. We still work. We still make them think, but the process can be guided by AI. And then you also get industry experts to come in to give some talks, to share the ideas. And then you can see how they use solutions and everything. They provide the presentations. They still learn to pitch and to interact. And you can see how, as I mentioned, we are still very much into hands-on, working on things. But they use, this is all AI generated. How the entire slide was AI generated. How the app will look like, the interface. And you can see here the whole journey of how customer will go through the whole journey or the process is all entirely AI generated. But of course, the student put in first, this is my idea, how this will go and go and go, and then the image is generated and they present. So we, aside from that, we also do some competition like AI content creation competition. So we get students to do a marathon of 3 days, 2.5 days. Then they will generate a video of maximum 3 minutes, entirely AI generated. And so this is I cannot play the video because we have time constraints. But you can see how they are very creative in using AI to generate. So our theme this year for the AI content creation competition was to think about, to envision how UMC, our university, will look like in 2030. That's 5 to 10 years later, in 10 years later. So they talk about a lot about human AI interaction, how mental health issues, and how we integrate, how we maintain human side of us. And so you can see how they're very creative. They think about how in the technology and all that will be used in our classroom. And then we have the best technical achievement. So you see this video and how this girl look like is entirely AI generated. So reflection and some future research. What I want to think is like reflection of how research has also pointed out that entrepreneurship education is changing, especially in the era of AI, but we still have not enough examples, and how we should work on the research on entrepreneurship in innovation in the future, right? So what have we learned now? So AI actually accelerates learning. So I think the previous speaker talked about, if in the past when he do a review, it takes a very long time, but now with AI assistant, we can save a lot of time in terms of going through a lot of things. So AI accelerates a lot of things in our life as well as learning. So let's replace our entrepreneurial judgment. What we need to do in terms of education is to help students to still maintain the human side of it. And so as educators, we become a learning designer, but we are not here to just give lectures and give information, but we are here to design how they can learn and facilitate their learning along the journey. And so where should the research go next, right? So like, how does AI change entrepreneurial learning rather than simply improve learning outcomes, right? how should how should experiential learning be redesigned? How can we incorporate AI in stages? Not just at the start, at the end, but in between, as in the blocks. And the last research question here is, what uniquely human capabilities become more important, right? Judgment, creativity, resilience, and ethics. So I come to the Q&A session. So because I don't want to overtime, and so my takeaway here is that AI will not replace entrepreneurs, but sorry, but entrepreneurs who know how to collaborate with AI will perform those who do not. So sorry. You're welcome to ask me questions.
Thank you, Dr. Veronita. It was truly an inspiring presentation from you. Yeah, does anyone have any question for Dr. Veronita here on how China actually built its digital entrepreneurship and how AI accelerates learning? We have talked before with Dr. Harun about the cloud capitalism and how the transformation of wealth in this digital world is based on data and how China is actually utilizing it on the students. Basically, the students there are educated with AI as partner and how to use AI, not be dictated by AI itself. And we also have heard from Professor Vincent about how SMEs in Indonesia, especially batik crafters, have difficulties in using this new type of technology. Any question for Dr. Veronita? Or yeah, Dr. Zeldiansha has a question. He would like to know Ingenuity Lab in rethinking entrepreneur education, and what are the most important lessons that you can give that helps traditional and small scale entrepreneurs with limited digital literacy?
Okay. I would say AI is actually a very useful resource in terms of why do I have two screens? Okay. AI is very useful for small and medium enterprise. Even if you are not so, AI doesn't need too much literacy actually. You can go to actually, for small business owners, watching some YouTubes and learn some things to use. Even like ChatGPT, there are lots of already, you don't have to have advanced knowledge in building your own agent. But if you explore ChatGPT, there are already other agent built and you can use that. There are a lot of things that can be used, and it's a very, very useful thing. Even my own my own business, my tennis academy, it's a very small business. Like I only have me and my two partners and two coaches and one operational staff. But I use AI a lot. I use AI to help me work on the finances. Like, do you think this makes sense? When can I when can I break even? What are the marketing positioning that I can do? AI is very, very useful for small, especially small and medium enterprises. And actually, even you use ChatGPT Plus, it's only 20 USD a month. Very minimal cost compared to hiring marketing
Thank you, Dr. Veronita. We are actually Mr. Randon, but could you please maybe have a conclusive words on AI use, because we have question from Mr. Ahmad and Miss Emilda about the entrepreneurship education that AI cannot replicate, and whether it is AI is a complementary instead of the majority for use for our students. Thank you, Doctor.
So you mean the question about what is the element that AI cannot replicate, cannot replace human?
Yes. The question is, and what should entrepreneurship education teach that AI cannot replicate?
Okay.
And I think it can be concluded as well with this Mr. Ahmad question. Can we conclude that AI is complementary to enhance the entrepreneurship?
Yes, that's absolutely the right thing to think. So use AI as a companion, not to replace us. So we are still here, but take AI as an assistant.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Feranita. I think that concludes the questions. And what Dr. Feranita said is that I can conclude is that we should not treat AI as a very high technology, high being, like, but it's our buddy, someone who we can talk to, but we can also be more productive, more creative, and we also have efficiency, and then we can get our ideas faster. Thank you, Dr. Feranita, for your session, for your presentation, and we hope to hear from you more later on if you can join the Q&A. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Bahangan. Thank you, everyone. Nice to
Thank
meet
you.
you. Bye.
Yeah. Goodbye, Doctor. Thank you. That was Dr. Veranita. More interesting because the topics are actually in coherence with the speakers before, and then we will, as we move on, I think we will find more more stories to reveal, more experience that we have from our amazing invited speakers. So now I would like to invite Dr. Bobur Sobirov to Dr. Bobur. Are you here, Dr. Sobirov?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear
Yes.
me?
Yes, we can hear you. Doctor, how are you? What time is it there, Doctor?
Yeah, it's early morning here in
Oh, it's early
Uzbekistan.
morning.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to everyone in Indonesia.
Waalaikumsalam, Doctor. Thank you very much for joining us here at Icbeat 2026, Doctor. And Dr. Sobirov here, I have collaborated with him on one of my research, and I think he is very open to doing research with Indonesian fellows as well, yeah, Doctor?
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Actually, during last 2 years, I have published around 50 Scopus papers in research with Indonesian partners because we have lots of projects. When time is mine, I would like to share some of my projects where all researchers here can join for free.
Okay, Doctor. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I think that if our participants would like to connect with you, they can do so by contacting the committee, and then I will give to you, yeah, Doctor. Is that okay?
It's okay. Can I share my screen, Prof?
Yes, Doctor.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Mhm. So first of all, I would like to give my thanks to organizers of this committee, my friends, with moderator Dr. Damar Haunan, and also with Raymond. We have been doing lots of partnership with this university. Thanks to this university opportunities, we have lots of fruitful activities. Here is my website, my personal website, where you can get all information about me. I think moderator is if it is okay, I would like to introduce myself and then I would like to go to presentation. Is this okay?
Yes, that's okay. That's okay. I
Okay.
was
If it
about
is
to read your CV, but
yeah, actually I am Bobur Sobirov. I am PhD, nowadays going to be full professor from Uzbekistan and from USA. I'm working in three universities. One of them is Washington University of Science and Technology. I am their visiting professor because I was in USA recently 4 months with a postdoctoral program called Faculty Enrichment Program. So this is initiated by American Council. So we got scholarship and I visited USA. And also I am representing Tashkent State University of Economics in Uzbekistan, which is one of the top universities according to QS ranking. And also as other members like Dr. Feranita and Dr. Harun and others, I see that here lots of business oriented people, and also I'm coming from industry. I have my own hotel in Uzbekistan and I am running publication house. And also we are doing kind of a partnership with Indonesian universities, Malaysian universities, with Thailand and Singapore universities, lots of projects. And during these projects, we have been organizing lots of seminars, trainings, and kind of activities. One of them is this one. This called Aqua. This Aqua Association is already connected 100 plus universities, and every member from here can easily join on this association, and we can provide you free slots for these conference members because this is payable, but we are ready to accept you to be part of this community. So you can have lots of opportunities, some courses from USA with certifications and credits, and also you have opportunity for research matching, for conference participation, journal publication, and so on. And you can see information about this later from information that moderator will share with you. And the next one is Silk Road Research Network. I am founder of this association, and there lots of university members already joined it, and lots of projects are going on between Silk Road and Southeast Asian and European countries. As you know, in Silk Road, there are lots of these kind of, let's say, universities. And also we have got publishing house. As I said, I am managing publication house called Academic Journal. This incorporation is founded in USA, and now we have got different partners from different other countries, from Spain, Czech Republic, Germany, United States, Portugal, Uzbekistan, Indonesia even we have got, but here that Indonesian, let's say, university journals or partner journals not yet included. So this is short information about me, and if you let me, I would like just start about my presentation for today's conference. I would like to present my presentation on a specific topic from industry. So is it visible, moderator, my presentation?
Yes, we can see your presentation.
Yeah, thank you. So my topic for today's presentation is the role of integrated science and business education in advancing tourism. And I got comparisons of Indonesia and Uzbekistan, and I put some cases from creative industry because today's topic has shown that lots of AI integration and kind of implementation of cutting edge technologies provided lots of opportunities to bring better educational and also economic perspective. And in this presentation, you can see that presentation examines the role of science and education in tourism development, focusing on Indonesian and Uzbekistan cases. As I said, I have already visited 10 times more and around 30 different cities of Indonesia, starting from Bali until Makassar. So I have been already in Jogja, in Jakarta, in Semarang, Solo, in Sidoarjo, Surabaya, and Malang, and so different places. So I have just did kind of a research for myself, and I see statistics showing that 15 million plus international visitors in Indonesia in 2025, and the same kind of, let's say, ranking for Uzbekistan is coming around 11 million tourists. So theoretical framework of science, education, and tourism showing that tourism is one of the important science. But when I got kind of analysis, for example, in Japan or in Korea, mostly tourism is not kind of a scientific activity. It's kind of a, let's say, habit for people to travel, and not all country consider tourism as a science. But in Uzbekistan, tourism is one of the important science because tourism is strategic driver sector of economy. So it is in this this is multidisciplinary field of drawing that can communicate and contribute geography, economy, environmental science, sociology, and management. So we have to pay attention on tourism from science perspective, because consequences of tourism is very important in the development of, let's say, regional development. Because in Bali, when I was in Bali, I noticed that lots of places interrupted due to tourism, cultural, let's say, differences, and also technological and natural, let's say, disasters are there. So the second point is technology and innovation. According to conference participation in USA, I noticed that already US researchers going to show up the novelty of research with technology. So imagine in hotel, when you visit first time hotel, you will fix your temperature of shower, and the second time when you visit the same hotel, already your data will be there, and they will fix your temperature of shower so that it will be comfortable for you, ecologically friendly for nature, and also kind of loyalty programs they will show to the tourists. So using AI, big data, and cutting edge technologies is one, but discovering these kind of technologies to reduce energy, to provide better atmosphere is two. So mostly in USA, during my 4 months visit and traveling to 11 different states and many conferences, I noticed that lots of innovation and technologies are coming in tourism due to research. And the next one is education and its role. So in Uzbekistan now we have got strategical planning by government up to 2030. So we are going to receive lots of Indonesian and Malaysian tourists due to Imam al-Bukhari and Imam al-Maturidi kind of medievals from Muslim, let's say, religion, and where your first president visited Uzbekistan, Sukarno, and he already mentioned about the importance of Imam al-Bukhari. After that, there was kind of a boom of tourists from Islamic countries to give lots of opportunities to visit Uzbekistan. And you see here, I put kind of a picture of Silk Road, and in Silk Road, from lots of years ago, Samarkand, Bukhara, and Khiva was crossroad of Silk Road that started from China, ending in Iraq, considered 32 different countries' history of trade, of research, of kind of education. So for now, we have got kind of foreign arrivals in 2025 up to 47% from 8.2 million into 11.7 million due to this kind of information. And also you can see the statistics of tourism services in Uzbekistan increased, and its contribution is 3.5% of GDP. And Uzbekistan government, president, and also strategic planning is paying attention to get lots of, let's say, tourists from different countries due to this kind of statistics. And you can see growth coming on in Indonesia due to facilities and populations. The ranking could be different because in Uzbekistan we have got just 40 million people of population, but in Indonesia we know that population of Indonesian country is much more than Uzbekistan, 7-8 times more than Uzbekistan. Due to that one, anticipation and statistics showing different kind of rankings. But what is my major focus of this presentation is that scientific studies of tourism should be carried on capacity and sustainability of tourism models, research on climate change and impact on destinations. So due to conflict zone now in Iran and let's say in United Arab Emirates and other nearby countries, there was kind of a conflict, and due to the conflict now in Uzbekistan and in other parts of the world nearby to Iran, climate changed positively. So they controlled kind of a climate atmosphere, but for now, climate changed positive, and it's also influencing positively on the tourism because we have in Uzbekistan two tourism seasons. First, starting from May until from March to May, and the second one is starting from September to November. So these two periods were kind of tourist seasons, but for now, June and July also coming better due to scientific studies of tourism on sustainability of tourism models and climate change. The second point is AI. We are using many chatbots. We are using the same as Dr. Veronica mentioned it, big data and different applications like Cloud, like GPT, and also lots of startup businesses coming on in Uzbekistan, and they are doing kind of a calculation. My research on this kind of tourism development by AI and big data is focused on Kaizen technology. So I have already done my novelty of research by calculating how many staff will be needed if there are different fluctuation of visitors in hotel industry, in train station, in let's say airport services. So imagine if there are flights at midnight time, how many staff should serve there in order to be proper, let's say, equal number in order to make on time proper punctual service. So I did calculation and calculator of these kind of services according to standardization of global statistics of tourism travel competitiveness index that is done by World Economic Forum. And these kind of technologies nowadays we have been implementing at different university programs. So head of hotel industry members, managers, marketing people should understand programs according to industry theoretically and practically, because these kind of specialists will give us lots of opportunities to give better service with good feedback. The second one is vocational training courses. We have got United UNWTO office tourism academy in Uzbekistan, where I am also training students for vocational training, and also we are doing kind of a service for people showing better opportunities according to language skills, and also we are doing awareness of the programs according to educational programs. Also, we have got scientific approach to sustainable tourism in Indonesia. We have been pointing on our research papers and in different, let's say, grants according to Indonesian grants by ministry. We have been pointing that Indonesian tourism industry should pay attention on ecotourism models, on marine conservation, and research-driven policy, and community-based tourism should be very important. For example, take kind of ecotourism models in different national parks like Komodo Park National Park, or some parks that I have visited in Bali and in Lombok and other places. So these kind of places need to pay attention more on community-based tourism activities. And green spaces and national parks in Uzbekistan is showing different kind of policy. We do not have much, let's say, resources of nature in Uzbekistan. Mostly we have got historical places, but still Uzbekistan paying attention on these kind of features from different perspectives. The first approach on tourism sustainability approach in Uzbekistan is cultural heritage preservation. For that one, we have got Silk Road Tourism Sustainability Research Program. We have got three-dimensional scanning and digital documentation of historical sites. And also we are paying attention on eco-friendly tourism initiatives. So we are promoting eco-lodges in rural areas, and also we are doing green tourism infrastructure development there. So comparative data finally showing that we have to pay attention on our visitors For example, in Indonesia, when I did my research, mostly people coming and traveling from Malaysia, Australia, Singapore, China, and nearby countries. In case in Uzbekistan, lots of Russian-speaking countries are coming to Uzbekistan. So 11.7 million tourists, from them 1 million tourists is coming from far destinations, 10 million tourists coming from nearby countries. So it's Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Eastern countries, and including Russia. So government focus is nowadays in Uzbekistan in Silk Road heritage places because our major natural resources connected with that one, and we would like to increase the number of tourists from 11.7 million record from now up to 20 million tourists by 2030. And Uzbekistan is planning to make it kind of a strategic sector to develop, let's say, markets here in Uzbekistan. So the statistics showing that tourism growth rate is increasing day by day, but in the future, Uzbekistan need to pay attention on different market like medical tourism, wellness tourism, nature-based tourism, and it would like to be kind of a hub for Central Asia. For example, if you would like to travel to other countries, Uzbekistan nowadays showing lots of opportunities. And in my case studies, I pointed kind of a science and education advanced tourism cases from Raja Ampat as a marine conservation project combining university research of local ranger training and reef monitoring to protect one of the world's most biodiverse marine areas. And also in Uzbekistan case, we have received kind of a different perspective. It is a cultural heritage site of three-dimensional monuments, multilingual digital guides, and data-driven visitor management system in order to attract lots of opportunities to get better points. But in Uzbekistan nowadays we have got lots of museums, and nowadays museums and areas are using VR and AR glasses for tourism education, and also tourism training courses going on online and offline in dual diplomas by different top Quest ranked universities like from Hong Kong, from USA, from other European countries. We have got dual diploma programs. So this was kind of my last slide, and thank you for your time sharing and giving me opportunity to provide you information. So this is my WhatsApp number and email. If you are interested to make partnership, as moderator mentioned it, we are open to make kind of a collaboration on research together with any of you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Dr. Babur, for the insightful presentation. We were amazed at how, compared with population, etc., your tourist is actually what is it? Almost same number, or maybe like 4 million difference. It's amazing how Uzbekistan is doing all these strategies, especially using digital technology to help with your tourism. And hopefully we can also learn from you, and then we can have what is it? We can make our tourism more interesting, and with the help of technology as well. Thank you, Dr. Bobur Sobirov. Thank you, Dr. Sobirov. Sorry. Does anyone have question? I see Miss Emilda has raised her hands. Would you like to accept one question, Doctor?
Yeah, why not?
Yes. Okay. Dr. Emilda, would you like to ask?
Okay.
Yeah.
Good day, Professor. Nice to meet you here. Okay.
Thank you. Good day.
Yeah. Okay. Based on your experience in research and also practice in tourism field, did you make any framework or proposed model how tourism faced the disaster like pandemic, COVID-19? So we knew that we have impact globally when disaster come up to the and then we have to face the disaster, and we need about model that you can propose or framework that you can recommend it for tourism business itself. Thank you.
Thank you, Emilda Suri, for your wonderful question. Yes, for tourism business, we have got two different big issue. One is this kind of disaster, pandemic, crisis, the second one, and the third one could be kind of political games, like in Ukraine and Russia, like in Iran and other places. So if it is conflict zone, if it is a big crisis or crisis economically, and if there is disaster, tourism will collapse big problems. So this happened in Uzbekistan also during pandemic. We lost lots of tourist income and tourist arrival in Uzbekistan, not just in Uzbekistan. According to my research, all around the world face difficulties. So I have framework for that one. My framework in Uzbekistan government, let's say, suggestion is to organize kind of online tours. For example, when I visited USA in conference, I noticed that people are already using Steam online YouTube streamers. So they are doing live videos of different places for disabled people. So they cannot move, but they would like to have a tour. For that one, already these kind of innovative tools are there. For museums, also they are doing online three-dimensional tour in virtual platform, so people are getting at least kind of information. So they cannot come and visit, they cannot come and feel, but they can easily get information about those places from distance. So if kind of issue will arise, if people would like to get information about Imam al-Bukhari complex, someone already mentioned it, yeah, Dr. Harun, I think, pointed Imam al-Bukhari complex, because Imam al-Bukhari complex now already finished it, and people would like to come to that place. I already received lots of Indonesian friends, and we visited already Imam al-Bukhari place. Imagine you would like to now, imagine you would like to go and to see that place before moving there. Maybe you have financial issue, and you can get it in online form, like online virtual depiction of that place you can get, and this can alleviate problems. So this kind of framework already organized by us, by researchers. We propose it to government already accepted, and this kind of work is already done, but we cannot alleviate 100% this kind of issues. So this war zone crisis and also pandemic or kind of disaster could dramatically affect negatively for the development of tourism at any level. Thank you for your question.
Yeah. How is it, Miss Emilda? Do you have any more follow-up question, perhaps? Okay, I take that as a no. We have a quite extensive question from the chat room. Dr. Sobirov, would you like to
Yes.
answer just in conclusion? Perhaps we have Dr. Roymond here talk about AI, whether it makes it more personalized or will it reduce the authenticity, and then how to help Central Java. In Central Java, we have tourist village, which is the question is how can you integrate AI for to empower the community for the tourist village. And then the question is local community, which is like the tourist village as well. So perhaps you can make a conclusion answer to all these three questions. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Thank you, moderator, for these wonderful three questions. Like first one for SM Abdullah about innovation and competitiveness. My dissertation is about competitiveness of tourism, and this is very important for local communities to compete, because in Bali, when I noticed it, price is high while comparing with Lombok, because in Bali, lots of people coming from abroad, the same coming and influencing for local people's living, because price for due to tourism will be increased. Restaurant price, transportation price, hotel or accommodation price will be increased, and this is the same in Uzbekistan case, and it will be very difficult because of that one. Uzbekistan government fixing two different prices for locals, different price, for internationals, different price. When you go to museum, you will get two different tariff. One tariff for locals, it is cheaper. The second tariff is different. For the same thing, for tourists, we have got two different price. For that one, we kind of helping people according to pricing and for competitiveness of local people. According to the question by Roymon about artificial intelligence, we are working over these kind of things because for local people, it should be kind of frequently asked questions of tourists should be directed to tourists by answer from local people, because when people visit, when they say, okay, I would like to visit local cuisine, I would like to have kind of unique tour, I would like to visit this kind of area or that kind of area, this question could be answered by local people like a frequently asked question. And AI nowadays already implemented in tourism of Uzbekistan, and lots of tourists are getting information replied by crowdsourcing. So as you know, as a crowdsourcing, people and users will generate content, and by that one, people are getting kind of information. According to the next question of Zaldian Shah, yes, he mentioned about Desa Wisata tourism village, and the same kind of tourism village we have got, but Uzbekistan government is supporting with infrastructure, with canalization, with electricity, with internet connection. They are creating in Uzbekistan new concept called free tourist zone. When you come on these kind of areas and when you organize your business in this kind of tourism village where there is no yet business atmosphere, Uzbekistan government even giving you tax-free zone area, so you will not pay even tax. Without this kind of support, it will be very difficult to improve any untapped area for tourism destination. So from business perspective and technological perspective, from engineering perspective, these three perspectives government is supporting for these kind of areas, and they're giving alleviation of tax, they're giving subsidy with very minimum rate, and also they're providing infrastructure. The rest, business people can organize. If there is no this kind of support, it will be very difficult to organize as a tourism destination. Price could be cheaper for business owner, but development of that business in that area will be very, very difficult. So these kind of answers for these three questions, Mr. Aunan Damar, for moderator. Yes. Any other questions? I have answers for these three questions.
Thank you very much, sir. With the we were discussing about the tourism and how it can, what is it? It can be used to leverage maybe the income of people in Indonesia as well.
Actually, sorry for interruption. In Uzbekistan, lots of people using their houses as a boutique hotel. So lots of people from Europe coming to Uzbekistan and coming from Europe, not to stay to Hilton type of hotel, not to, let's say, Hilton, Sheraton hotel chains. So people don't want to stay this kind of hotel in Uzbekistan. People coming from abroad would like to stay with families. Why? Because they would like to feel how people living, what are their culture, what their, let's say, life standard. They would like to see this one. So government gave lots of credits and subsidy for local people to change their rooms as a room with air conditioning, with a room with, let's say, shower and simple conditions in order to attract lots of tourists. And lots of people nowadays, 90% plus, prefer to stay at this kind of homestay places like bed and breakfast type of hotel. And as you said, local people getting around $5,000 to $10,000 income per month due to this kind of services, because they're not just providing hotel services, they're providing tours, they're providing transportation, they're providing, instead of restaurants, they're providing meals. So these kind of services they are providing and making very good amount of money now due to tourism. For that one, tourism is improving and developing in this area.
Okay, that's great. Which also answer the question before about the tourism village, right? Because people want to see actually how people in different country live, and then they can also give tours. Uh, just basically the local tour given by the local people, not from the what is it like the big corporate things like that, right, sir?
Yeah, this kind
Yeah.
of features is very important. And due to this kind of atmosphere, lots of people coming and traveling to this country. And finally, as I said, in order to prove you, my idea is that, as I said, I use it one area as a hotel, and you can see this is my hotel. We have got 27 rooms, and we receiving tourists per $20 per night. Each tourist per night pay us $20, and they feel feeling of local people, so they can move like backpackers. They don't need to pay much amount, and in each room air conditioning, as I told you, shower and breakfast will be provided. This is very safe, very comfortable. People will interact with each other, and this is my hotel. When you come to Uzbekistan, we can provide you free accommodation services for any of you. We invite you strongly to come to Uzbekistan. Best country to show up the hospitality and friendship to their friends. Because of that one, we have got lots of Muslim country friends. We have lots of friends from Australia, from China, from Europe, and from other Southeast Asian countries. So we are ready to accept any of you. If you are interested, you're welcome. There is no visa, and there are lots of direct flights to Uzbekistan.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that is also government support that with no visa entry and
Yeah,
what is it, complicated process to visit
nothing.
your country, right? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you very much, Dr. Sobirov, for the insightful presentation. I think we are all more inspired now since we are coming to our last speaker. Thank you, Dr. Sobirov. And I would like to say hello to our next speaker, uh, Dr. Miguel Vera. You right? Yeah. And Dr. Miguel Vera or Antonio, we call good Professor Antonio. Good good morning, Professor.
Good morning, everyone. Hello.
Hello, Professor. Thank you very much for joining us. I know it's very early in the morning in Spain, but you join with us. Thank you very much, Professor. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here. And yes, it's 6 in the morning in Spain, but no problem.
6 in the morning, right? No pressure, yes, sir. All right. So we will read your CV first. Professor Miguel Ferra is from Spain, and he has obtained a business administration degree from University of Murcia, and also he began academic career as lecturer and researcher at Technical University of Cartagena, and then he defended a PhD thesis entitled Ownership Structure and Board of Directors for essays. And your CV is very extensive, and you have lots and lots of accomplishment, especially with your papers, publications, and I think that what is it? Now we are very motivated to hear from you, to hear what topic that you present to us today. So without further ado, can we welcome Professor Antonio? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Can I share my screen?
Yes, sure.
Okay. Can you see the presentation?
Yes, we
It's
can
okay?
see it, Doctor. Yeah, Professor.
Okay. Okay. Well, today, this paper that I'm going to present now has been written together with Professor Brian Main from the University of Edinburgh in Scotland, also with Professor María Encarnación Lucas Pérez from the University of Murcia too, and Professor de Gloria Sánchez Marí from the University of Alcalá in Madrid, in Spain. Well, our paper study one of the most important topics in corporate governance today, executive compensation. More specifically, we analyze whether gender diversity on board of director and remuneration committee has reduced executive compensation. We also compare Spain and the United Kingdom because they represent two different institutional environments with different corporate governance systems. I hope you find our research interesting. Thank you very much for your attention, and let's begin. About the motivation and contribution, executive compensation has been really studied for many years. We know a great deal about CEO pay. We also know a lot about corporate governance. And during the last few years, many researchers have studied gender diversity on corporate boards. However, there are still some important questions that have not been fully answered. First, most previous studies analyze total executive compensation. In our opinion, this is not enough. A successful CEO should receive high compensation. There's nothing wrong with that. What really matters is whether executives receive more compensation than they deserve. For this reason, we focus on executive compensation, not simply on total compensation. Second, previous study usually analyze the percentage of women directors. In our paper, we go one step further. We also analyze critical mass. We believe that one woman on the board might not have the same influence as 3 or more women working together. Finally, most previous studies analyze only one country. Instead, we compare Spain and the United Kingdom. These countries have different institutional environments and different corporate governance systems. This comparison allows us to understand whether institutional context change the relationship between gender diversity and executive compensation. Before presenting our hypothesis, I would like to explain why we compare Spain and the United Kingdom. This is not a random choice. The two countries represent two different corporate governance systems, as I told. Spain followed the civil law tradition. The United Kingdom followed the common law tradition. These different legal systems have influenced the way companies are governed for many years. In Spain, ownership is usually more concentrated. Many companies have controlling shareholders or family owners. As a result, boards often play a different role. In contrast, ownership in the United Kingdom is generally more dispersed. Institutional investors have a stronger presence and play a more active role in monitoring managers. Therefore, corporate governance works differently in the two countries. For this reason, we believe that the effect of gender diversity may also be different. This comparison makes our study more interesting because it allows us to analyze whether institutional context influences executive compensation. Our objective is not to decide which system is better. Our objective is to understand whether they produce different governance outcomes. Our study is based on 4 complementary theories. Each theory helps explain one part of the relationship between gender diversity and executive compensation. Let me briefly explain them. The first is the agency theory. This is probably the best known theory in corporate governance. According to this theory, managers do not always act in the best interest of shareholders. For this reason, company needs effective monitoring mechanism. One of the most important monitoring mechanism is the board of directors. A board should supervise executive and help ensure that compensation reflects company performance. The second theory is managerial power. This theory suggests that powerful executives might influence decisions about their own compensation. If board monitoring is weak, CEOs might receive compensation that is higher than justified by their performance. The third theory is resource dependence. According to this theory, directors bring different knowledge, experience, and perspective to the board. Women directors might therefore improve board discussion, increase independence, and improve monitoring. Finally, we use critical mass theory. This theory argues that simply appointing one woman on the board might not be enough. Real influence appears when women reach a critical mass. Only then can they participate more actively in discussion and have a stronger impact on board decisions. So, these four theories complement each other. Agency theory explains why monitoring is necessary. Managerial power theory explains why exec compensation might exist. Resource dependence theory explains why women directors might improve board effectiveness. And critical mass theory explains why representation alone might not be sufficient. Based on the theory that I have just presented, we develop three main hypotheses. First, we expect gender diversity to reduce executive compensation. The idea is simple. More diverse board should monitor managers more effectively and make more independent compensation decisions. Our second hypothesis goes one step further. We believe that simply appointing one woman on the board may not be enough. The governance effect should become stronger when women reach a critical mass. In other words, representation is important, but effective participation is even more important. Finally, our third hypothesis considers the roles of the institutional environment and the governance characteristics. Gender impact might be stronger when things operate under a specific governance structure and institutional environment. Therefore, the relationship between gender diversity and executive compensation may not be the same for all companies. These three hypotheses summarize the main ideas of our paper. Now we need to test whether the data support this expectation. To do that, let me introduce our sample, the variables, and the empirical methodology. Our analysis focused on licensed companies from Spain and the United Kingdom over the period from 2013 to 2022. After applying our selection criteria, the final sample include more than 3,600 fringe years observations. The information comes from several well-known international databases. Board characteristics, executive compensation, and ownership data come from Board X. Financial and accounting information come from Refinity, Icon, and DataStream. Finally, macroeconomic variables come from the World Bank, the OECD, and Eurostat. By combining these databases, we obtain detailed information at both the company level and the country level. This allows us to analyze executive compensation while controlling for things characteristics, corporate governance, and economic environment. Now let me explain the main variables used in the analysis. The most important variable is our dependent variable, executive compensation. I will explain how we calculate the variables in the next slide. Our main independent variables measure gender diversity. First, we use the percentage of women on the board of director. Second, we analyze board critical mass, which such as CEO duality, the proportion of executive director, board and remuneration committee size, and institutional ownership. Finally, we include several firm-level control variables, including profitability, firm size, leverage, growth opportunity, and free age. We also control for the macroeconomic environment using variables such as GDP growth, inflation, unemployment, interest rate, and the Gini coefficient. Now, let me explain how we calculate the key variables in our study, executive compensation. A CEO managing a large and successful company should receive higher compensation than a CEO managing a smaller company. This is nothing wrong with that. The important question is different. Is the CEO receiving more compensation than we would normally expect? To answer the question, we first estimate the expected compensation. This expected value is calculated using objective economic and financial variables, such as firm size, profitability, stock market performance, growth opportunity, industry, and year effect. These variables explain the level of compensation that we would normally expect for each company. Next, we compare the observed compensation with the expected compensation. The difference between these two values gives us exact executive compensation. If the value is positive, the executive receives more compensation than expected. If the value is close to zero, compensation is broadly consistent with the firm's economic fundamentals. And if the value is negative, compensation is below the expected level. This approach allows us to distinguish between high compensation and excessive compensation. I believe this is an important distinction. High compensation is not necessarily a problem, excessive compensation is. Our interest is not high compensation. Our interest is compensation that is higher than expected after considering the firm's characteristics. This is the variable that we use throughout the rest of the analysis. Now, let us compare the two countries. This table highlights some interesting differences between Spain and the United Kingdom. First, we observe a clear difference in executive compensation. The average value is lower in Spain than in the United Kingdom, and this difference is statistically significant. This suggests that executive compensation is higher in the United Kingdom firms. At this stage, it's descriptive findings. However, it is consistent with the institutional differences that we discussed earlier. UK firms generally rely more on market-based executive compensation, have more disparate ownership, and higher proportion of executive directors. In contrast, Spanish firms typically have more concentrated ownership and larger board, which might provide more effective internal monitoring of executive compensation. Whether these institutional differences actually explain the gap is the question that we address in the econometric analysis. Second, Spanish companies have significant larger board, as I told before. On average, boards have almost 10 directors in Spain, compared with about 8.5 in the United Kingdom. Board size helps explain another interesting result. Although UK firms have a higher percentage of women directors, Spanish companies have more likely to reach a female critical mass. This may seem surprising at first. However, larger board provide most opportunity to appoint several women directors. As a result, reaching a critical mass is easy in Spain, even in the overall percentage of women is lower. A similar pattern appears in the remuneration committee. UK firms have higher proportion of women on this committee. However, Spanish firms are more likely to achieve a critical mass for women in that committee. This is an important result because, as we will see later, the remuneration committee plays a key role in executive compensation decision. Another interesting difference concerns executive directors. As expected, UK firms include a higher proportion of executive directors than a Spanish board. This may have an important governance implication. A higher percent of executive directors could increase management influence within the board and potentially weaken independent monitoring. As we will see later, our regression result analyzed with gender diversity becomes particularly valuable in this context. Finally, institutional honesty is much higher in the United Kingdom. This is fully consistent with the common law system where institutional investors play a stronger monitoring role than in Spain. Overall, these descriptive statistics confirm that firms operate under different corporate governance environments. These differences support our expectation that the relationship between gender diversity and executive compensation may also differ across the two countries. The next question is whether the difference remain after controlling for other firm characteristics. Now, let me briefly explain our empirical methodology. Our baseline model relates executive compensation to corporate governance variables, gender diversity measure, and a set of firm level and macroeconomic control variables. Because executive compensation is highly persistent over the time, we include the large dependent variables in the model. To estimate the relationship, we use the two-step system GMN estimator, originally developed by Arellano and Bond, and later extended by Blundell and Bond. We did not show system GMN because it's more sophisticated. We chose it because it is the most appropriate methodology for our research question. There are three main reasons. First, executive compensation and corporate governance might influence each other. For example, board composition might affect executive compensation, but compensation policies might also influence board decisions. In other words, we cannot assume a simple one-way cause and effect relationship. System GMM help us deal with this endogeneity problem. Second, companies differ in many characteristics that cannot be directly observed. System GMM controls for this unobservable firm heterogeneity. Third, executive compensation is dynamic. Current compensation is partly influenced by compensation decisions made in previous year. Our methodology takes this persistence into account. Let us begin with our baseline result. This table analyzes the direct relationship between gender diversity and executive compensation. The first and more important result is that all four gender diversity measures have a negative coefficient. This means that gender diversity is associated with lower executive compensation. In other words, companies with more women on the board or remuneration committee tend to show lower level of executive compensation. However, the strongest effects are not found for simple female representation, they are found for critical mass. The governance effect becomes stronger when women have sufficient representation to participate actively in the board discussion and decision making. We also find that the remuneration committee plays an important role. This result is not surprising. The Remuneration Committee is directly responsible for designing and monitoring executive compensation policies. Therefore, improvements in the composition of this committee have a direct impact on compensation decisions. Finally, of control variable behave largely as expected. For example, executive dominance is positively associated with executive compensation. This suggests that when executives have greater influence within the board, effective monitoring becomes more difficult. Overall, this baseline result provides strong initial support for our first two hypotheses. Gender diversity matters, but reaching a critical mass appears to matter even more. The next question is whether this relationship remains the same across different institutional environments. That is exactly what we'll test in the next table. To answer this question, we interact our gender diversity measure with the United Kingdom indicator. This evidence is mixed. Some gender diversity measures show significant interaction effect, while others do not. This suggests that institutional content matter, but its impact is not identical for all measures of gender diversity. One interesting result concerns board critical mass. The interaction term is positive and significant. This means that the negative effect of board critical mass on executive compensation becomes weaker in the United Kingdom than in Spain. In contrast, we do not find a significant country effect for the percentage of women on the Remuneration Committee. This suggests that some governance mechanisms are more sensitive to institutional context than others. Another interesting result concerns executive dominance. The interaction between executive director and the UK is negative and highly significant in all models. This indicates that the influence of the executive director on executive compensation is weaker in the United Kingdom. This finding is inconsistent with the strong external monitoring provided by institutional investors and financial markets in the United Kingdom. Overall, this result provides partial support for our third hypothesis. Institutional context does matter, but its influence is not uniform across all governance mechanisms. This is an important finding because it suggests that corporate governance practice cannot always be transferred from one country to another without considering the institutional environment. In the next table, we test another important question. Does the effectiveness of critical mass depend on the proportion of executive director on the board? This is an important question. If executives have greater influence on the board, effective monitoring becomes more difficult. So, does executive dominance affect the governance role of gender diversity? Our result suggests that it does. The direct effect of gender diversity remains negative, confirming our previous result. However, the most interesting finding appears when analyzing the interaction term. The interaction is statistically significant mainly for the critical mass measure. Because the direct effect of critical mass are negative and the interaction coefficient as positive, the reducing effect of critical mass on executive compensation becomes weaker as executive dominance increases. In other words, critical mass continues to contribute the lower compensation, but its effectiveness is constrained when executive directors have greater influence on the board. The result is consistent with the idea that effectiveness of gender diversity depends not only of the number of women, but also of the internal balance of power within the board. Simply increasing the percentage of women is important, however, reaching a critical mass appears to generate a more robust governance effect than simple representation, even though this effect is attenuated under greater executive dominance. We also find particularly strong evidence that critical mass in the Remuneration Committee decided that gender diversity is especially relevant when it's present in the committee directly responsible for executive compensation decision. Overall, the results show that gender diversity does not have the same impact in every governance environment. Critical mass matter, but its ability to constrain executive compensation is weaker when executive influence is stronger. This finding reinforces the importance of considering both the board diversity and the internal distribution of power. We can now combine all these results to draft the main conclusion of our study. Until now, we have analyzed institutional context and executive dominance separately. In this final model, we assign the joint influence on the relationship between critical mass and executive compensation. The main finding is that the combined moderation is significant only for Remuneration Committee critical mass. This indicates that the governance effect of critical mass depends on the joint influence of executive dominance and the institutional context. By contrast, the combined moderation is not significant for board critical mass, suggesting that the relationship is less robust when both moderators are considered simultaneously. Overall, this finding highlights the Remuneration Committee as the governance sitting where gender diversity has the most robust and consistent association with lower executive compensation. The result also suggests that where women reach a critical mass may be just as important as how many women are present. Taken together, this finding provides strong support for the central argument of our study. Critical mass matter and its effectiveness depend on the governance environment in which it operates. Let me finish by discussing the practical implication of our study, followed by its main limitation. Our research is not only relevant for academics, we believe that also provides useful insight for companies, investors, and regulators. For example, for companies, our findings suggest that gender diversity should not be viewed only as a matter of equality or corporate social responsibility. It should also be considered an important corporate governance mechanism. Companies should promote gender diversity, especially within Remuneration Committee, and support the achievement of critical mass. Second, for investors, gender diverse board may be a signal of stronger monitoring and better corporate governance. Our results suggest that firms with more effective governance mechanisms are less likely to exceed executive compensation. Finally, for regulators, our evidence suggests that promoting board diversity is important. However, representation alone might not be enough. Policies should also encourage female representation in the governance bodies where the most important decisions are made. Before concluding, I would like to briefly acknowledge some limitations of our study. First, our analysis focused on listed companies from Spain and the United Kingdom. These two countries provide an interesting institutional comparison, but our findings should be interpreted with caution because being generalized to other countries. Second, we focus on gender diversity. Board diversity is a broad concept that future research could also consider other dimensions such as age, nationality, professional expertise, or educational background. Finally, some governance variables are constrained by the information available in the Board X database. That concludes my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention. It has been a pleasure to share our work with you today.
Thank you, Professor, for sharing the extensive gender roles on the executive compensation. It was a great presentation and great material for all of us here. Hopefully it will be beneficial as well for the others. We still have 10 minutes for Q&A. I hope that you stay here, Professor. We have one question, perhaps. Practically, how the executive should respond when the firm still show unequal executive compensation in the context board's gender diversity, Professor?
Excuse me, can you repeat? I had a
Yes,
problem
the
with the connection, Ramon.
Yeah, the question is actually in the chat room. Dear Professor, based on your research, how the executive should respond when the firm still show unequal executive compensation in the context of board's gender diversity, Professor?
Yes, I think that we have legislation about this topic in Spain, also in the United Kingdom. So I think that in the board director is not a big problem about the quality, about the remuneration. We don't find some difference in this issue, but I think the problem is in the base of the company, not executive and director. So I think that the problem is that the legislation also is focused on the leasing company, big company with more of 250 workers. But I think that the more important issue is in the small and medium enterprises. Because, for example, in Spain, this type of thing is the 99% of the firms in the world country. So I think that that is not a problem in the leasing company and the board of director, but in the majority of the company, I think that yes, it is a problem, because the salary difference is demonstrated in several studies about that women that get the same post with the same education and the same experience have a less salary that men.
Okay, thank you, Professor, for the answer. And we have one more from Asim Abdullah. Gracias, sir, and congratulations on Spain winning the World Cup, he said.
Thank you very much. I had the cup behind me, not the original, but
yeah. And his question is, how can you truly tell if board control executive or executive control the board? That was the question.
the executive have a big power in the board. They had the two issues. They had the control or the monitoring. The monitoring control, and also they have they are the manager of the firm. So when we have a high percentage of executive director it can influence in the board. The supervision in the board is weaker, and I think that the women directors is more important for compensate this problem. But it's demonstrated that in higher percentage of executive director, the influence of women is lower. So it's a problem for compensation in this topic. Yes.
Okay, Professor. Thank you very much. Would you like to have a follow-up question, Miss Emilda or Mr. Asim Abdullah? If you have any more follow-up question, or perhaps you can also ask, because we have a Q&A session, sir. We would like to use this time as efficient as possible for question. We have also Dr. Professor Harun is also here, right? Good. Hello, Professor. Thank you for staying until the final speaker. Okay, thank you for the answer. Okay, Asim have no follow-up question. Okay, last chance. All right. I think that was it the participants, Professor. I think that your what is it? Your topic about gender diversity is also one of the most talked about topic, especially in this era, and with this type of research. We also I think that is also one of the transformation that happens with the digital transformation as well. We need to look at the what is it, the diversity, and then the gender in the executive, especially in the professional field. Thank you, Professor Antonio, once again. We are truly honored to have you, as well as professors, invited speakers from all around the world. Actually, we have Prof. Vincent. Thank you, Prof. Harun, Prof. Dr. Veranita, Dr. Bobur as well. Thank you very much. And I think that all in all, we sum up today's presentation with the fact that everybody what is it give us very beneficial theme, and then we can gain hopefully everybody here can have insights after that. Yeah. Okay, I think that's all from this webinar, and I will give this session back. Thank you very much, everyone, for staying. And then we after this we will have breakout session for the participants of of the conference. Thank you once again, and I will send this session back to the MC. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone.
Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you to our moderator and our distinguished keynote speaker for the insightful presentation and inspiring discussion. We truly appreciate your valuable contribution to Icbeat 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now have our lunch break until 12:55 p.m. Western Indonesian time. Before we leave for lunch, we would like to thank our favorite sponsor, Yamaha Indonesia, Bank Jateng, and PT Pertamina Drilling Service Indonesia. We invite all participants to stay connected by following their official social media account and displayed on the screen. And enjoy your lunch, and we look forward to welcoming you back shortly.
Tolong dikasih.
Kita semua punya mimpi, tapi tidak semua